Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Racecraft TV for tonight's presentation of the Shenandoah Shine Great Lakes 100 presented by Yes2 Motorsport. We are very excited to bring this action to you tonight. My name is Boomer Logan, and I will be calling the action alongside with Chris Matthews, who I've got in the booth here with me. How's it going tonight, Chris?
That's going well. I'm very excited to sit here and watch this and commentate with you tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of action. You see, we got about 1 minute left in qualifying here. There's going to be a lot of vehicles, a lot of 4 different classes on the track tonight. We are at Bark River in the beautiful Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Very much looking forward to this race tonight. There's going to be lots of action. It sounds like different cars are going to be faster at different times. I'm hearing that the Pro 4s are going to be pretty stout through most of the night, but eventually the Volkswagen Beetles are going to slowly creep up to their speed as the track slicks off or grips up, and should be a lot of action, I think, that we're going to have in store, Chris.
Oh, definitely. Competitions in all 4 platforms here. So it's going to be very interesting to see as soon as these guys kind of make their way throughout the track and trying to catch up to the faster trucks. And you got to see the Beetles. So all forms of racing right now kind of on display. And you got different classes of drivers. We got some celebrities in here and some other things. And with this being in Michigan, I think I found a new destination for my summer plans if I ever get a chance to come out here.
Yes, sir. I was fortunate enough to live in the UP for 5 years, and it is an absolute beautiful part of the country. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. As we mentioned, we'll pull up here some of the class action that's going to happen. We've got the unlimited trucks, the Pro 4 off-roads, the Subaru WRX STI Unlimiteds, the limited truck for the Pro 2 off-road lights, and then we've also got the Volkswagen Beetle Light limited car as well. So all 4 cars are going to do just about different things at just about any time. I mean, the Pro 4s, for the most part, like we mentioned, are going to be fast from the get-go. The VW Bugs will eventually probably creep in and try to show their strength a little bit later on in the race, and then it sounds like the Subies are going to be fairly slow at the beginning, but the fastest thing in the very end of the race, again, as that slicks off, and it should be a lot of fun. Pro 2's going to be competitive towards the back of the pack, it sounds like, but definitely a lot of action within each class, and should be a great battle. But now that we've gotten you acquainted with the vehicles, let's look at our race analysis. We've got 100 minutes, and it's a team race. There are 2 to 3 drivers per car, and there are mandatory driver changes. There are no damage. Damage is completely turned off in iRacing, and there will be no cautions or restarts. So if you spin out, you've got to catch back up and get back going as soon as you possibly can. So it'll be a lot of action that we're going to have tonight, and yeah, should be fun. Looks like qualifying has just concluded, so we'll take a second here, pull up our grid, and see who grabbed that pole. So it's going to be Josh Edmondson grabbing the pole in the number 58 machine for Team Prick, Nicholas Wellhouse on the outside pole in that 41 machine with Wisco Off-Road. Brock Smith qualifying in the 906. Actually, Jeff Ives jumping in the car now in the 906 dirt truck. Wes Graham, G Money Motorsports in that 4th position. Matt Kalish in the Grills 74 machine. Cody Harrelson in the AMX iRacing 217. On to our second page as it pulls up here. See if we can get it there. Second page not wanting to cooperate with us yet. See if we can pull that back up in a second. But yeah, we'll definitely be a lot of fun. Gonna be a lot of action's gonna happen tonight, so we're definitely gonna have to keep an eye on it as much as we possibly can. There's definitely some fun team names and some fun drivers, like you mentioned in the field there, Chris. So we'll have to see. There we go. There's our second page. So on the second page, we got Ryan File and the Cobalt Commanders, Josh Cox in the Dildo Hut Racing 00 machine, Garrett Boyd in Last Minute Motorsports, Paul Mikolajczyk. Thankfully, he helped me pronounce that before the race started, so maybe the only name that I'm going to get. But they did say they did not help me with the team name, so we're going to go with Pakamuleron, McPedala Chersenchik, something like that. How's that? We'll pronounce that one time, and that's
great
it.
A right there.
Yeah, all
I
right.
think that passes.
We got Nathan Metokson. I'm pretty sure their team name is. Let me see if I can pull up here. I'm pretty sure their team name is Subies for Boobies. If I've got that wrong, I apologize because I can't see the second part of it. But we'll move on to Zach Mitchell in the 269 machine for Team Aston Farton. Next page, we got going through Eric Winter and Tubbin with Riz, Marcos Palacio and Team Struggle Bus, Aiden Irvin, TG Racing, Amni Pulsatrix and Feltrix Motoring, Chris Leone and PLT Motorsports, Keenan Kusin and Team Rick. Got some action on track already, as I think we have taken the green flag, so we'll pop back to that in, formation lap is going on, so you'll see it in the background. But Tyler Shell in the Cam and Paul P2 machine, Ruby Acosta in Queen's Design.
I believe they're going green.
Yeah, Cody Winecki in the Team Cody Winecki, Cade McKee, Iron Rock Motorsports, Solomon Borschinger in Flip Patrol Enterprises, and John Borst Snoop. There it is. Lots more team names to see, but I think we're going to pop back up to the front of the pack as we're going to catch the green flag action here as we are underway here at Bark River. That number 58 machine now piloted by Blake Reynolds on the point with Nick Wellhouse, Jeff Ives, Wes Graham, and Matt Kalish. Your top 5 as they run right now. We'll get that.
Yeah, very crazy to see these cars, kind of go around the track, and you'll see different lines throughout the night with the this 100-minute race. And I think the fun thing about dirt racing is there's no perfect line. Everyone's got a different line to go through here, and as the track wears off and it gets slick or it gets a little bit dry, these guys are definitely going to have to search around.
Yeah, definitely going to have to play with something. I mean, the track starts at a 0% use state, so there's no rubber on the track, but that also means that the dirt is fresh. There's still moisture everywhere, and you have opportunities to, put that power down and really make fast laps. But that's going to change quite a bit, and as we mentioned, that's going to slow down for these Pro 4 trucks at the begin or at the front of the pack right now. So definitely going to be a lot of patience. I mean, 100 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, but the track's going to change so much over the course of this race.
Oh, definitely. As you see right now, a little bit of pass for the lead. These guys get a little bit squirrely hitting each other. It's going to be very physical tonight. But you saw early on, these guys are definitely kind of just hugging the corners. You have the ability to do that early on. Yeah. But as soon as the track kind of wears off, it's going to be a little bit weird. You're going to have to try to figure out where the fast lines are at. And it might just be just on the straight. You might have to look for something that's slick for you.
Yeah, we actually got Nick Wellhouse there taking that pass for the lead, passing the 58 machine of Blake Reynolds and Team Prick for that first position. Number 92 of Jeff Ives currently piloting that machine, now settling into that third position with Wes Graham still in the fourth position. These guys are kind of breaking away a little bit from the field, so we're going to take a chance to go through it here just a little bit here and try to see some of these beautiful machines here. We got Wes Graham again mentioned in the number 68 machine. Matt Kalish currently piloting the number 74 machine in fifth place. Cody Harrelson back here. Josh Cox in the 7th place. Garrett Boyd behind him in the Muck Off 21 machine. First VW in the field is Eric Whitner. Don't have a team name for him, but we'll try to grab those as we see them throughout the night. Paul Mikolajczyk in the VW. 2nd place overall in the VW class right now. Sorry, 10th overall, 2nd in the VW class. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you're going to see a lot of changing the positions here with the different class cars. And I think right now you got a Beetle that's kind of just in the middle of everybody right now. And I forgot who that is. I think that is... I forgot the name, but they're sitting there right now in between a Pro 4 truck and I think one of the Subarus. So it's a little back there. These guys are definitely going to be having to feel that all night. You're not just racing the same class of cars that you're going to be around. So if you mess up or you get lagged behind, you're definitely going to have a fight against through the supposed traffic of this race.
Yeah, for sure. You see Ryan File, he's kind of trapped behind a couple of the VWs right here, but then there's a big gap back to Amity Pulsatrix in the 259 machine, the limited truck here. So we got one off off the road there, coming back on.
Oh no.
There's going to be a lot of action, and it's going to be tough to follow, but for right now, we're taking you through the field a little bit here, just getting familiar with some of these names and some of these cars. Now riding with Zach Mitchell in 269 machine, it shows. Ruby Acosta here in the 999 machine.
Big battle right there. They're definitely hitting each other.
Yeah.
I think he won out. I think Zach Mitchell won out on that one.
Yeah. Zach Mitchell taking that spot there. Back in 15th here, we've got Tyler Schell racing one of the VWs, and I think it's our first Subaru of the field right now, Aiden Irvin. So a lot of Subarus in the back of the pack, but as we mentioned, they're gonna be really fast. Like the very end of this race may not be enough to dig out of the hole that they're going to be in from some of the Pro 4s at the top of the track, but gotta stay in it to win it. So Cody Winecki here, the second place in the Subaru class right now, 17th overall, followed by Keenan Kusin driving that number 294 machine. Chris Leone in the 112 Subaru. Marcos Palacio in the 20th position right now. Cade McKee, 21st. John Borst back here in the looks like the 555 car actually on the track. Solomon Borschinger in the 592, and Nathan Mitoksen got in 24th place driving the Subaru as well. Scott Bryant, Alexander Reno, and Garrett Delph are your field, but we'll take it back there. Looks like we got Nick Wellhouse out in front by quite a large margin here. He's about 4.5 seconds ahead of the field here, and might be a little early, but that's definitely a pretty stout lead to have early on with only 6 minutes off the clock here.
Yeah, definitely, and that's just going to be a little bit better when they do the relay and they have to switch out drivers. If you get a little 6-second delay or any type of advantage that you can have and get that driver swap done, that's just going to help that driver out a little bit more, especially if that's a slower driver that's going to be coming into the truck next. So whether it's the slower or the faster guy, you know, these guys have, you know, planned this out a little bit. Even though this is a fun race and we're doing this for a little bit of fun and it's, you know, it's a loose and fast type of event, these guys still have strategies in mind.
Yeah, definitely a lot of strategies. I mean, you know, some of these guys are just out here to have some fun, as you see a couple cars going around there in the front view of Nick Wellhouse, but one off track there as well. So definitely going to be a lot of fun here. Ooh, sliding, there we go. It's a bit of a slide job you see there as the 33 machine joins back on the track. That's Nathan Mitoksen going a lap down already now to our leader. Yeah, should be pretty cool. We've got looks like 8 trucks in the front of the pack. Eric Winter there is the first VW, but actually Cody Harrelson sitting there back in 9th place. He's in one of the Pro 2 trucks in the limited truck, so you see the difference there. He's got the orange or red banner across the front of the windshield, or lack of a windshield there, and then the 32 machine just in front of him, the unlimited Pro 4 truck has the yellow banner, so there'll be one way to try and differentiate those tonight. But for the most part,
it's going to be very confusing for some people, but it's all there. It's definitely all there on the screen right there. You know, these cars are going to get dirty, so hopefully they can still be seen. But I do got to ask you, if you were going to be driving this, which one of the 4 vehicles would you want to race?
Oh man, that's such a great question. I admittedly and honestly, I'm still a rookie dirt road. I have not been able to get out of the rookie rating for dirt road, so may not be the best one to ask, but I would probably only really be able to handle the VW Beetle for now. So let's go with that just from an experience standpoint. But if I were experienced, I would definitely want to be in you know, one of the vehicles that has the opportunity to try and be up front. And it seems like for the most part the Pro 4s are going to be pretty strong all night long, so I might want to check out and try to lead the race from the front and control it from there. But what say you, Chris?
You know, I think I've been partial to Subarus, just you know, watching them in rally racing growing up, and they just look cool on track, man. They look like they're just built for this, and it's purpose built, and just the funness of watching these guys kind of just go around the bumps compared to the trucks. Or the trucks have a lot of suspension work going on right now. But I'm sitting here watching the 135 car, and there's a lot of beautiful Subarus on the track. So when I see him in the street and I see him here, I'm like, man, I kind of wanna buy one just so I can come all the way out here to Michigan and do this.
Yeah, man. Would be a lot of fun. These cars are Subarus. They look. I mean, I think they're probably one of the coolest looking ones we got out here tonight. But a lot of good paint schemes. And Aiden Irvin currently leading in that class. He is currently 15th overall. So go ahead.
So I think this is a great showcase of how these guys have to get around this track. You have a Beetle right in front of a Subaru, and a truck right behind these guys. And
Yeah.
the truck's kind of has to be a little bit patient, getting around these guys. But I think you can already see that during the straights that the truck doesn't have the speed to get around these guys. But as soon as it gets back to these kind of twisty, tight corners, the truck's gonna get real close back up to them. So this is a fun little showcase right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that's a great point, Chris. You can definitely see the different styles it takes to drive these cars. Tyler Schell there in the 556 VW machine. He is leading this group of 3 here with Aiden Irvin in the middle and Keenan Kusin in his Pro 2 truck at the back here. So Tyler currently riding in, this is their battle for 14th, 15th, and 16th. And I'm new to the battle box, but I think we've actually, yeah, there we go. We could do, it says third, but we're actually battling for, would be third in the class for Tyler in the VW, but a little bit of a battle box there. Not quite, yeah, definitely a lot of fun to see the different strategies. It seems like for the most part, we're gonna have to have, a driver swap for sure. So I guess I'll ask you that, Chris. As far as a driver swap goes, what are you thinking as far as needing, when would you plan to try and do those out? Are you trying to do even time, or would you want to be the first driver or the last driver? What can you say on some of that strategy that we might see tonight for drivers getting in and out of this car?
So I definitely think you want your fastest guy on the back half of the race, where he can have the clear, if some cars fall through attrition or what might ever happen. I think if you have the fastest guys out last, you might be able to have the best time to either catch up or pull the lead and try to close the door on anyone trying to have a little bit of competition towards you. So the guys that are out right now, we're not saying that they're slow or anything like that, but I think that would be my strategy if I was to go at this with a teammate. If you and me were on track, I think I'd have you finish this off, because I think you would get around here better than me.
Yeah. Okay. I like the strategy for sure. Definitely, yeah, gonna be interesting to see who's gonna be in first and who's gonna be in second. Some of these guys, obviously, one person gets to qualify the car, and it doesn't have to be the person who starts the race, but you want to put your best guy in for qualifying. But interesting to see, of these teams, who's going to be going for it early, and who's going to be trying to put their fastest guy in at the end.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. It looks like everyone's kind of even getting around each other right now. So it's getting to that weird mix-up point right now, where I'm seeing the Beetles actually getting a little bit stronger as the race goes on. As I think we're getting ready to have a first couple of pits. Some people might have wrecked their cars or their trucks already.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the damage is turned off, so as far as that goes, we will have no issues there. But definitely eventually going to have to pit to make those driver changes. We're only 1 minute left here, but looks like Scott Bryan is coming out of, or entered and left the pit lanes. I don't know if that'd be anybody that would be our first driver change or not, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see who makes that first change here tonight, Chris.
Oh, definitely. And right now, watching John Borst get passed by 2 trucks. I think he's just trying to get through, unscathed, but he already got hit by one, so he's a little bit sideways right now. And I think a lot of Beetles are getting banged up right now. I think people got tired of them being a little bit faster.
Yeah, definitely getting a little bit beat around there. But yeah, still moving on there with that really cool Snoopy and extra life scheme that John Borst has here on this the 555 machine.
Ooh, seen a couple other wrecks. A lot of these things are almost self-devolved. Like a lot of people are just kind of spinning by themselves or hitting the wall. This track is tricky. I've spent maybe about a couple hours, couple days on it. But it's definitely tricky to get around here, especially when you get to these real tight corners after one of the straights. So, like we said, the track's kind of wearing out. These guys can't go as hard as they want to into certain corners, and they definitely have to watch out for some of the bumps right now.
Yeah, as we see there on replay, we got Garrett Delph going around. We'll see if we can see that John Borstrek back again as he kind of got run over by one of those trucks that you mentioned there, Chris. But yeah, lots of opportunities to miss a track. I mean, it's definitely there's definitely a huge art, just like there is to almost any kind of racing. Definitely a huge art as the 555 almost got completely run over by the 74. There's that spun him
Oh
around.
man.
Well, actually, we got another one. We got Nathan Metokson here. Looks like he had some trouble. We'll see if we can see what happened to him in this number 33 machine here. But there's definitely the other thing you got to watch out for is there's areas of this track where if you hit a jump wrong, you could jump completely off the track and then get reset back to the pits. As you see there, Nathan just getting a little hot over the jump afterwards and not getting it slowed down and getting it pitched to enter the corner. But yeah, lots of great action so far as Nick Wellhouse continues to lead, and he actually just set the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 14.33 second lap. So he's definitely putting down.
Absolutely cutting through the field.
He's got a 7-second lead here, and now he's working his way through quite a bit of the field. It looks like he's putting Amity Pulsatrix 1 lap down there. So definitely going to have to keep an eye on that. There's going to be a lot of laps down for a lot of these cars towards the back of the pack, as we mentioned, some comers and goers with the strategy. But so far the track's still pretty clean. Not a lot of rubber down. It's still pretty moist and not drying and slicking off yet. So definitely still favoring those Pro 4 trucks here, Chris.
Yeah, definitely, and thank God for computers, because if we were back in the day where we didn't have technology, it'd be taking forever for us to figure out who was on the lead lap and who wasn't. So, you guys have the ticker that y'all can see for each class. They're they're color coded and stuff like that. But it's really interesting to see how these guys have to figure out which car they have to pass, or which guy that is already a lap down, and they kind of have to take a different factor to it. As we see another Beetle, I think, go down right in front of Nicholas Wellhouse, and just the telemetry that these guys have to kind of worry about here and figure out where the competition really is at, where Nicholas Wellhouse has a 7-second lead. He might be able to just kind of back it down and not take so much risk when he gets around the rest of these cars.
Yeah, definitely got to be careful and make sure that you're still being generous to some of the guys you're racing around. Obviously, it's a fun event, but you got to be mindful of those other classes and try not to run over too much out there. But you mentioned the ticker there, Chris. So you see as they stand, the standings are in order of overall position. Obviously, the color denotes the class of the vehicle. Yellow being the Pro 4 trucks, purple being the VWs. The reds are the Pro 2 trucks, and then the blues are the Subarus. So, and then you can see the actual number would be the position in the class. So that would explain the ticker that we have for tonight. And so we got 1 hour and 23 minutes still left here on the green flag race we have going. So quite a ways to go. Just about 20 minutes done here. And we're starting to see a lot of separation quite a bit. I mean, from first to sixth place, we've got almost a minute of separation already, where that's a pretty big gap that we've got growing already.
Yeah, definitely a big gap. All it takes is one little mistake, and it just kind of gets closed down. You might roll the truck. Obviously, we don't have any damage, so these cars can keep going if they want to. But as soon as you go into the pits, I kind of wanted to bring that up. Is as soon as you go into the pits, once you come out, it's an exact straight shot down the line. So these guys come around the corner. If they're not careful and they come right out of the pits, you're going to be in another wreck pretty instantly.
Yeah, definitely. There's not really much of a pit lane here. I mean, there is, but it's pretty narrow there. As you see all the crew members lined up there. So it's a lot of shared pits as well. There really aren't too many pit stalls here on this track. But yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see how those cars get through in and out of pit road. It's definitely a pretty hot entrance and exit there, as we see Looks like Eric Winter was coming back onto the track there in the 17 machine. We got one pitting here in pit lane. That's Solomon Borschinger on pit road right now. So maybe making a driver change here or just getting some fresh tires, it looks like. So, yeah, I'm not even sure how often we're going to need to actually pit for fuel. But it looks like for the most part, yeah, we'll see. I'm not even sure. Didn't bother to check how much fuel we're going to be running, but Nick Wellhouse is actually in for his first pit stop. So, looking like for the most part, 14 to 15 or more laps is going to be how often they need to pit. So we got a lot coming on the pit road. So this is going to be pretty crazy here.
Yeah, definitely. If we stay on Nick Wellhouse as soon as they come out, you'll see him come straight off into a gaggle of trucks and cars, and hopefully you kind of have to look to your left as soon as you're coming straight out because it's one of those things where you're almost crossing the road, playing Frogger right now. So you're seeing these cars come directly out right now, and it's a straight shot. And I think this is one of the coolest things about this track right now is that you got cars absolutely sliding right past you, right in front of you, and then you're right back into the action.
Yeah, definitely fortunate there for now Steve Harwood in that number 41 machine. He came out to a pretty clean track, and he is going to inherit third place now after the pit stop, as Wes Graham is currently going to be your leader in the number 68 machine that we see coming on your screen right there in the Maconi Setup Shop, an NDR truck. So good looking 68 machine here with 213simware.com also on that truck as well.
Looking around the track and trying to find some close battles right now. Seems like everybody's pretty much spread out. They're trying to be a little bit amicable right now. But we're seeing I think the 999 get around one of the Beatles right now. So these guys are kind of just I think they're getting ready to get into the pit cycle. So everyone's kind of just playing fair right now, playing nice.
Yeah, for the most part, everyone just kind of taking it easy now. You see the 999 coming into pit lane and getting service for the first time. You see the 00 machine there of it'll be now Josh Cox as he gets in the car. That is the Don's Dildo Depot, also with Extra Life on that truck as well. Great looking scheme tonight. Got the 294 also. That's Keenan Kusin going. I think he was actually in there first as well, but so he's getting back into the truck, and see if we can see how he merges onto the track here. Should be a little bit of traffic there, but not too bad as he's going to rejoin there, currently in 13th place. And
I was told if Don's car wins, Don's BMW, I think they said that they would get 6.9% off.
Oh, okay. At the Don's Dildo Depot, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Nice, a nice discount there, and yeah. They're currently have some issues sitting on pit road there for a little bit. They've been on pit road for about a minute and a half, so they've got a long ways to get back up to the front. Speaking of which, we've got the number 58 machine of Team Prick, still working on that in that Ford Raptor. Definitely making some good laps right now. Just about the fastest on track, although a lot of the last laps were from pit stops. A lot of the last laps were a little slower from pit stops, so. Yeah, currently, actually, Brent Smith, the last lap there in the number 92 machine, he was the fastest lap on track that last time by, so putting down some good laps there in that number 92 Dale Jr. Dale Jr. Foundation and Dirty Mo radio truck. Let's see if we can get into some interviews here. What do you think there, Chris?
Oh, some interviews would be great.
Yeah, we're gonna pull Josh Edmondson out of Team Pierogi, their team chat there. See if we can get a word there with Mr. Edmondson and see how the race is going for the team. And also thank you for putting on this great event that we have here tonight, Josh.
Hey, thanks guys. Yeah, most of the credit goes to Chris Leone. He's the mastermind behind this event. It's actually a blast to race, so I look forward to it every time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of this event, or just how this all came to be?
Yeah, the very first one was the Group Therapy 100. It was at Crandon, and it was just an idea that Chris had and put it together, and put on the event. There was a ton of people that showed up for that one too, but it kind of grew from there. That was obviously wanted more.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun, and I mean, definitely props to you guys for putting together something that's enjoyable and fun to do. You don't get to always see a lot of this stuff on iRacing. A lot of the stuff is more serious versus this is just kind of fun, and I think that's definitely props to you and Chris to put something together that's just time to go out and enjoy yourselves and have a blast and not worry about too much.
It's such a mix of things, just the way that the track evolves, the way the cars, like the Pro 4s are fast in the beginning, and then the V-dub lights come on strong, and then the Subarus at the end are the fastest, so it's just crazy how it all changes like that, and all the different speeds of the vehicles and chaos that it provides it's awesome.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of fun. Well, hey, we're actually going to see if we can get Chris up here as well, pull you both into the booth. I know Chris has got a little bit of a time-sensitive issue for tonight, so we want to make sure that he still gets his chance to shine in the spotlight for putting on this great event. How's it going, Chris?
That is more accurate than Boom. I almost had a Tony Stewart moment in the undercard race a couple hours ago. So yeah. I am doing brilliant. And first of all, thank you guys for putting this on. Josh, Racecraft, everybody. These are always a blast. They're some of the most fun events I think everybody has every year participating. So pumped to put it on, even if I screwed up my pit stop royally.
No worries. Well, we're definitely pulling for you guys, and obviously we got the 58 of Blake Reynolds in Josh's machine right now, and Chris, I apologize, don't quite remember where your team was at, but you guys are running, or I guess, do you mind telling me what car you're running real quick?
Yeah, we are in the unlimited car. We're in the Subaru, the PLT Motorsports 112 right now, and we're third in class. Happy with where we're at. I was my usual cowardly on the throttle self as much as I could be, so we'd kind of get off pit cycle a little bit, and handed the car off in second, and everything that I earned I gave back by botching the pit entry. But regardless, we got a little cushion, and it's a long race, and it's just up to Fish and Teal to make up the time and try to catch Tom and Aiden and Kate and Brian.
Yeah, so we got you on screen there now, the 112 Subaru Ian Fisher in the car right now, Fish as he's affectionately known as. Definitely a lot of fun to see you guys put this together and see all the different cars on track. I mean, was there any reasoning why you guys wanted to pick the Subaru? It sounds like that'll be really fast at the end of the race, but you kind of got to hold on for quite a while at the beginning.
I picked the car with the least entries in it, so I had the best chance at winning.
Hey, well, I love the honesty. That's great, man.
No, I mean
that's smart.
It's also we ran Matt Kalish, Dave Bodia, and I actually ran the Subaru last time. But that's the thing though with Vortex points. It's what do you want to win? Do you want to win a points championship, or do you want to win a race? Kind of like real desert racing points. If you win with more vehicles on the track, you get more points because we score last place gets the same number, and then second to last, and on and on and on. So if we win, and Josh, if you and Blake win, your win is worth way more than our win, because there's like 12 Pro 4s here. We've only got 5 or 6 Subarus. Okay. So that's kind of always been the design is, let's not do it so everybody's wins are equal, because again, this being a desert racing takeoff, not all wins are created equal. When you've got a big class, a win just means more, and that's kind of the case here too.
Yeah, well, good deal. Yeah, cool to see some of that strategy play out, and I mean, it's definitely not necessarily an easy choice to pick the car you're going to drive. I mean, it's there's even if this is a fun event, you still guys have a lot of different strategy playing out, and especially as the track changes and understanding how each car is going to react to that changing track. But yeah, should be a lot of fun to watch tonight.
100%. And for me, I mean, the funny thing over at iRacing, we announced recently the rebrand of the Orontis games. The drag product into Exocross, and so being one of the, more off-road oriented people as I'm watching my car fly off in the stratosphere.
I wasn't sure we were gonna say anything about it, but yeah, we're back on track now. It's okay, but continue, Chris.
Yeah, we almost had our Tony Stewart, George Brett moment right there. But so I've been, obviously I've spent a lot of time in Dragon and Exocross, recently, just getting reacclimated to what that game is and looking forward to what it's going to become when it's fully developed. And if you've never played Drag Outer Worlds as it stands, they're essentially like big Pro 4s or trophy trucks with the giant wheels. So I'm unlearning everything that I was doing over there to get back in here. And, I didn't do a ton of practice. I didn't do a ton of, prep, unfortunately. Not as much as I've done kind of in the past, but that was the thing. It was just, unlearning some of that stuff for probably the wildest thing that's ever been in the iRacing portfolio. But it is off-road and it is fun. So, that's my deal. We're spreading the off-road gospel. I mean, that's also why the Pikes Peak Hill Climb is on the car. I'll be at my first Pikes Peak in June, so really stoked about that. In some of the other Yes2 events, I've highlighted some of the Mad Media events that I have worked at, the Mint 400, the California 300, and just it's spreading the love. It's spreading the love for off-road in general. It's such a growth market. I think there's so much more that can be done in the off-road space in gaming, and I want us to be at the forefront of it on the iRacing side. And so I'm doing what I can to help that charge.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this is a very amazing product. This is probably one of my first exposures to this type of racing and this product itself. And I would think that our viewers would, some of them might have the same thing where this might be the first set of exposure. And this is such a great showcase right now that I think, I would almost I would almost tweet to iRacing that I want this to be like an official series, that kind of goes off right now. So this is so much fun, just watching these guys go around. And obviously this is, mostly for fun, but I wouldn't mind making this a competitive atmosphere at one point.
Yeah, week 13. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Go ahead.
So much fun on week 13.
It would be a good week 13. I mean, I have definitely, I've pitched some things in there, and we definitely do change it up in week 13 sometimes. I know that Legends Rallycross has been a popular thing. I definitely love the idea of the multi-class. I mean, as you've probably noticed from some of the sends that Ian has done, this is a damage off series, and I don't know that we necessarily do that in Publix too much, but regardless, it's always been a blast. The other nice thing that's happened over the past couple of seasons is the Pro 2 Lite and the Volkswagen Beetle Lite have always been free, and there were always multiple rallycross tracks that were part of your base content package in iRacing.
Right.
But we finally got an off-road truck track made free in Wild West, and the Pro 2 Lite participation has exploded as a result of that. And not only has that exploded, but D-Class Pro 4 and C-Class Pro 2 have kind of grown as well. So just that one little change got 60 to 80% more people, driving off-road. And that was one of the most fulfilling things, because that was something I had pushed for a while. I know Josh intimately knows some of the work that I had been doing behind the scenes in terms of planning and things of that nature, what I was trying to get to happen. So, I think there's still more to be done long term, certainly. There are definitely more, whether it's vehicles or tracks or things that I really hope we can get done at some point. I have been pushing on a UTV for years. I've been pushing on a Class 11 for years. I can't guarantee anything, but have certainly, brought them to the forefront and tried to do some of the work on sourcing some of the things. So, I'm really hoping that, we have a lot more growth to do in this space.
Yeah, definitely really cool to see. And it seems like just dirt road racing in general has really exploded fairly recently in iRacing, obviously thanks to, it seems like in part to your efforts for sure. But it's really cool to see. I mean, there's so many different disciplines of racing out there, and it's always awesome to see when a new one gets added to the service for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
The most fun too. This just the racing in general. Now you can actually have a little bit of contact, and the side-to-side racing that it does is, I think it's the best on the sim. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're only a tiny bit biased, aren't we, Josh?
No, not at all. No.
no, just.
I drive
just a
everything.
tiny bit. Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, the stuff we do in Yes 2, we do a lot of stuff like this. I mean, we had about 15 people did the Scrambler before this race. That was Cade McKee a few months ago for the old 911 GT3 Cup, built a setup that made it work on a fully worn dirt track, and I basically said, I bet, and I literally took Cade's exact parameters from that Porsche and I put them on every road car that I could think of, and it kind of worked. And so we did Scrambler, and actually some of the front wheel drive cars are very good. Not really a shock on the Renault Clio that came out, because the Clio is a rallycross car, and now I believe an RC3 car in stage rally in the real world. But you know, you get to a point where you do some of that experimentation, and we've got one multi-class that we do sometimes where it's the Clio, it's the Jetta, and the Ray FF1600 we've actually found a way to make work as well. And so and we've done that on rallycross tracks, and that's been a blast. The Roof C-Spec we built a setup for, and because that also has lights, you know, we've kind of been dubbing it our little like safari rally thing, because you can run it at twilight, and Crandon does have lights. It doesn't cover the whole track, but you know, unfortunately, and you have headlights too. So especially if you run the short layout, you got no issue. But unfortunately, we don't have actual working lights on any of the pro trucks, and by the time iRacing got to Global Rallycross, my old employer, we hadn't had headlights in our cars for 5 years that worked, unfortunately. Yeah, it was a bummer. Brian Deegan used to have those menacing, like, red Fiesta headlights, and he ran them at SEMA, and he started last, and he almost won the race that one year. That was... It was menacing. You did not want to mess with that guy when he was coming up in your mirror with the red lights, but I digress. I mean... Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's, you know, obviously it's the coolest job in the world to be involved on the iRacing side of things, and I try to keep those real world links in off-road racing to, you know, to help where I can. And that's you know, that's been a blast. Obviously, we have a ton of other series. We have the Pro Series coming back in June. I know Josh is going to be one of the threats for the title on that, so looking forward to. How did last year go for you again, Josh? How was the? I lost count on the podiums.
Only of those. The few bad rounds took me out of it. I ended up 4th overall. But if it wasn't for the 2 DNFs, I would have been up there fighting for the title. So hopefully this year I can stay out of trouble.
Yeah, still pretty
39
respectable.
Places in points, better than I'll ever be. Yeah.
For sure. Well, cool. So I do gotta ask you, what is the biggest surprise about your day job that you didn't think you'd expect to have to deal with or get to do? Or what's the biggest surprise about that?
How bad I have been at adapting back to a PC after using a Mac for 10 years.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, no, I still do most of the stuff that you see me do on iRacing is stuff that I actually do on a Mac. My computer, when I was working in college, we did everything on Macs, and when I was working at Global Rallycross, everybody worked exclusively off iMessage and all that stuff. So, you know, it really was kind of an adjustment back to get familiar with PCs, and now I'm kind of ambidextrous on it. I canceled my cable and stuff, and I basically built out of all of my video files a streaming service for myself just to get good at PCs again. Like, so I went full nerd stuff. There's like 20 channels. And, I don't know. It's that is probably the thing though that raises people's eyebrows the most, and it is kind of bizarre. I don't think there's been an iRacing Mac build since I was still in college.
Yeah. Okay. It's been a while.
Looks like these other Pro 4s got an extra lap in over Blake here.
Oh yeah, no, it's we've got a lot of cars
They
still
ran
on the
an
lead
entire
lap.
another lap than we did on fuel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's...
Yeah, and I think that's props to show just the different strategies with some of these vehicles. Obviously, they're going to be, I guess that was one thing I didn't know for sure when we started was what the fuel load would look like. But eventually, I mean, over the course of a 100-minute race, if you can stretch one lap extra, fuel run, that's a lot of time saved. Not in the pits, so it'll be different. It's interesting to see.
And
Yeah,
that
we
is
should get the net lead back, I think, but...
Yeah, I think these are almost 2-minute laps. They're about like what minute 40?
Yeah, minute 14 actually for the Pro 4 around there.
Yeah, so a little bit less than that, but certainly when you pit, that is a 2-minute lap. Yeah. So if you can avoid having to do that, just one extra time, it is hugely valuable.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that's always interesting. Usually the Pro 4s are also the favorites, but, what we've discovered over the past year and a half of doing these is that if you have a really good Beetle Light team, you can finish on the lead lap and contend for the win. And if you have a really, really good Subaru team, same thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Paul Mikolajczyk is currently in 6th position. Eric Winter in 7th, Whitner, in 7th, just behind them. They're running that VW, and they're not too far off the pace. I mean, they're about a minute and a half off of our leader, but still, on the lead lap or just about on the lead lap. So definitely props to those guys in the VW so far.
Yeah, and the last time that we did this race, I screwed up the session build and made it so it was either a solo or 2-car race rather than a 2 or 3. And so we had to rerun the whole race, and with the slightly smaller turnout that we had in the rerun, Cam Peterson actually, and I think he might have been with Connor Parise in that one. Josh, that wasn't the one with you, was it? You were Wild West, right?
No, Cam and I won that one.
That was you guys.
Wild West one.
Right.
Blake and I won the Bark River one.
Right. Right. But
in the Pro 4, though.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think Cam has an overall in there somewhere. And although I'm hurt that he didn't return my calls to be his teammate again, it is always very interesting to see not only how high up Cam can finish in the overall in the Beetle Light, but also the team names that he puts together. And Hameleron, Mick Padula, you guys, I was so close. God damn it.
I attempted at the beginning of the race, and that was my only attempt. So you can go back and watch the broadcast. It's probably awful, but
That's the only time I've ever failed at one of Cam's team names. So he's finally got one in on me.
Yeah, well,
he had to bring in the Polish guy.
Yeah.
He had to bring in the Polish driver, and he had to bring me on in my Tony Stewart notes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I looked at that name. I just thought he had a cat that just ran over the keyboard.
I did also ask Paul ahead of time how to pronounce his last name, just so I wouldn't screw it up, because that's probably one of the toughest ones. So I got that at least, but I did not get the team name.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. If they win the class, turn it back around on them and tell them to pronounce it.
There you go.
I'll withhold the trophy and their points until they give us a pronunciation guide.
All right.
There we go. There's my Vince McMahon for the day. The boss.
Good deal. Well, definitely appreciate you guys, all that you do to put these events on. And I guess, do you want to plug when the next one will be and where it'll be at?
Yeah, likewise. So Vortex runs 3 times a year. The last Thursday of every April, August, and December. August is the Sierra Nevada 100 at Wild West, and December is the Group Therapy 100 at Crandon, which is usually the biggest one. We usually do about 40 vehicles on that, but every other week for the next 6 weeks, so next week we won't do one, but the week after we will, we do Vorex, which is this, but shorter and solo, 40-minute races and similar classes. The difference is we still do the Pro 4, but we do the regular full-size Pro 2. We do the 3 rallycross cars, And because we got that roof C-Spec working, that's going to be the throw-in class this time. So that'll be what, May 11th, May 25th, and June. It's either 8th or 9th. We do stuff weekly every Thursday at 7 Eastern and every Saturday at 8 Eastern in the league and yes too, and all are welcome. This is the only event that ever has registration, and it's really more for you guys, so you have an idea of what and who to expect.
Oh, definitely it helps.
If all 400 people in the league tried to show up, I wouldn't do anything about it. I mean, it's the same reason we try to do the number system, and we only had a few people get it wrong this time, so that was fine too.
Yeah, not too bad. Well, definitely appreciate that, and I appreciate the list you sent ahead of time just to kind of prepare for who all is going to be in there. I'm still fairly new to iRacing in general in the grand scheme of things and in broadcasting, but I mean, it's been a blast to get to know some of you guys and get a chance to do this. So appreciate you guys, and wish you both. Obviously, Josh, you guys are currently leading right now in that number 58 truck, so I hope you guys can stay up there. And Chris, hopefully you can make it back up there at some point with that number 112 Subaru machine.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll see you on track, Chris.
Yeah, well, you'll see Fish and Teal. I think I'm...
Oh, okay. If I see Teal, I'm bumping him for sure.
Well, I would expect no less. But what do we have? We have... we're on the same lap, but we've got 2 laps on falling off the podium. So I guess, knock on wood, we're a little safe.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. My teammate's killing it for being a NASCAR guy. We all know Blake's good at everything he does, though. But
yeah,
this is definitely not his forte, and he's doing really good.
Yeah.
And what is your team name, Joshua?
It's Team Prick.
So what was the?
We're like Team Rick, but we're faster. And
okay.
he can say it. He owned the network.
You're faster, and what was that?
Meaner.
Meaner. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Got it. Awesome. Well, best of luck to you guys, and thanks again for all that you do.
Thanks, guys.
Likewise. Thank you.
All right. I will attempt to put you back in the right channels, but it might be easier if you guys
I can find it.
your way.
I can find it.
Take care and have a good night.
Yeah, for sure, and you guys too. And I will just say again, appreciate you guys, appreciate the whole Racecraft audience, everybody who does dirt road on iRacing. Your public participation matters. We notice that stuff. Please, if there's a series you want to see more of, get some friends together, go run it. You know, we notice that stuff. We pick up on the analytics. You know, we see that stuff every month, and it really matters. If you want dirt road to do more, it's the JFK ask not what your country can do for you thing, you know. But,
yeah.
But really appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody who runs this stuff. This is going to be a good event, and hopefully, I think Fish and Teal have got it figured out for a podium. I hope, but we'll see y'all at the finish line.
All right, sounds good. Best of luck to you guys, and thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, a lot of fun. Definitely really cool to hear some insight there from Chris. Yeah, definitely gonna be a fun event to see how it goes through, and lots of action on track as we continue to see Blake Reynolds in that number 58 machine in the lead, as we've still got 53 minutes left on the schedule for tonight.
Yeah, definitely interesting to hear everything that he was talking about, and just how intricate all this stuff was, and just to really just to come up with everything. But as we were doing that, we were watching Blake Reynolds, and now there's about a minute gap, a whole minute gap between first and second right now, and it's pretty interesting seeing how just a pit stop can change. And we were talking about just exceeding 1 lap extra and trying to stretch the field out in these trucks and these cars. Really interesting to see how these strategies play out, because I just saw a bunch of people just kind of just change positions over the course of time that we were having that interview.
Yeah, definitely. We saw obviously Blake Reynolds in that 58 machine still out in the lead. Dennis Mickelson in now at 41 machine took the early lead, but they are currently in second place. Matt Kalish in the number 74 machine tucked there in third. Joshua Gaiman in that 68 machine in fourth. And we have Eric Whitner, the first VW on track. He is making his way towards the front of the pack in that black number 17, and Paul Mikolajczyk just behind him, about a half a second behind him. So you see them both on the screen there. So these are your VW Class 1 and 2 leaders right now, but also 5th and 6th overall. So as that track starts to wear away, you see not a lot of moisture left in the track. There's definitely a lot of rubber taking to the track, and they're starting to make progress on some of the other trucks. And we do see we got Aiden Irvin here, and the Subaru actually now up into 8th position. He is the first place car in that category, and definitely doing pretty well so far. Our first Pro 2 truck is Nick Nowak.
Oh, we have a flip.
Oh, we got a flip. Oh, we've just missed it.
Travis Brown.
Travis Brown. We'll go grab that for you.
Oh, no.
See if we can grab that flip here. In this number...
I was just getting ready to say, I've seen these Beetles just getting a little bit aggressive and mean. It looked like the tracks definitely come to them, and they're fast. And I just saw Travis Brown, and it was right in front of him. I think it was just a bad bounce. It looked like just a nose kind of caught, and whoo, that's a headache waiting.
That's quite a ride. Let's actually see if we can take that back real quick. See if we can grab a what is it, a gyro cam of that. As he,
not sure what really happened. It looked like they were, going, the correct way, and I think he just caught the lip, just a little bit too far down. No. Yeah,
because I mean, the rear end just kind of kicked off pretty hard, and he took a pretty good tumble there, as you see on your screen.
Oh man,
up over, wow, quite a bit. Glad to see that he'll be back underway pretty quickly, and doesn't need to be checked out or into the infield care center, thankfully, and he's already back on track on the replay here. So we'll jump live and head back to him. But there he is, no damage, thankfully. Actually, this is Nick Nowak in the 248 machine. So just switched there, but definitely a lot of fun to see these guys driving these cars really hard.
Yeah, definitely looking at how these cars are kind of just transferring the jumps right now. Even that's a little bit different. So every single part of this track is getting, its own variation of different lines that these guys have to take. And you see the trucks get a little bit swirly as they come out to the straight. And right now you're looking at the Subarus. They look a little bit more stable. But like overall, it looks like the Beetles are just, they're just hunkered down and hooked up.
Yeah, you see Aiden Irvin here definitely still, absolutely sending it in that 135 Subaru machine. So he's actually just behind Blake Reynolds here, our leader. So he's just one lap down, but he is currently sitting in the 7th position, first overall, obviously, as you mentioned, for his class. So definitely cool to see the Subarus making some headway, and you can kind of see the differences throughout different parts of the track. Obviously, Pro 4's definitely taking the advantage of speed through some of the corners, but a little bit slower through some of the faster sections of the track. And actually, the Subaru there is going to trying to get around him, but it's really hard. Difference in size of the vehicles to get that pass set up and made there, Chris.
Yeah, I think he might have to go around the outside. I know this car can definitely hook up, and the front grip of that Subaru definitely has the power to get around them if need be. As they're getting ready to come up to a slower truck, but just looking at these guys right now, they kind of have to like set each other up, a couple turns in advance. So not sure if the Subaru is going to be able to get by him, but he definitely has the I would say the assisted power with the track state that it is right now.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll see. This is going to change quite a bit. We're, 47 minutes left to go still on the race, so a lot can still change in that time. And some of these guys, pretty much everyone has made at least 2 pit stops now, some making 3 or 4 depending on their strategies, but not everyone has made a driver change, so we're still going to have to wait and see who is going to get in the cars next and who will battle better with that different track state, because like I said, it's still going to change quite a bit more, even though we've still got quite a bit ways to go in this race.
Yeah, definitely. When you do endurance racing, just in general, in my experience, you honestly just kind of count down the laps to see how many laps you can do. Like if it's a Daytona 24, even the Le Mans series, a lot of times you would go ahead and you say, you kind of count down. You're like, all right, I can do 15 laps. Let's see if I can get to 16, and just try to rattle them off as fast as you can before you have to come in and do your your driver swap out. Oh, as he
Oh,
flips. What a flip.
Wow, what a ride for Aiden Irvin there in the 135 machine. He's going to have to get it collected back up, but thankfully, again, no damage on tonight, so that car will repair itself pretty quickly, and he'll be back underway. But that was full send there for the 135 machine. Let's see if we can grab a quick view of that. That was definitely a pretty big moment there as he gets side by side with the 158 just about.
That was his
It
chance.
into the corner. This was his chance to get to the inside, and looks like he tried to get a little bit too much there. Apologies, it jumped there on me on the replay, but definitely clips that inside corner. They're trying to get a little bit too much to get around the leader of overall leader of Blake Reynolds, and yeah, it's easy to go pretty hard when you have that advantage of repairing that damage, but maybe a little bit too hard there, setting it into that corner.
Yeah, and I think Irvin still being the top car of his class right now, he doesn't have to really worry too much as looking overall. A lot of these guys are kind of falling by the wayside, but you guys can look there at the banners where he's the only blue one that you see that's highlighted right now. Everyone else is kind of just down below, and he's just in between a bunch of yellows, some purples, some some reds or pinks or whatever color that is that you see. So he's really outclassing his field right now, so it's one of those things where you kind of have to take a little bit of pride in that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's it's really cool to see. It's really cool to see how well these guys know these cars, and it takes a lot of skill and a lot of practice. I mean, some of these guys are. I mean, there's some incredible names in this race for guys that are incredibly talented and can absolutely put these vehicles on the absolute edge and be competitive. And I mean, for us, I think, Chris, it's just a treat to get to see what these guys can do.
Oh, definitely. As we see another flip with Lance Elkins, I believe. These guys were kind of battling. There was about a group of 4.
Yeah.
But they're still battling right now. It was 5 and it just turned into 4. But watching these guys kind of navigate each other. You got a Subaru, you got a couple of Beetles, and you have a truck chasing everyone behind. And I think that's probably the interesting part about this that I definitely enjoy watching. It's just seeing how everyone has different lines and who's actually fast at certain points of the track, and just watching these guys just battle it out. Turn each turn around this track is definitely interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Solomon Borschinger going around there. Unfortunate for him, as he's going to have to take that reset there in that 592 machine. But definitely, one of the dangers of having one of the dangers of dirt road racing, that it happens where you can send it pretty hard, and like I mentioned, without damage, there's really no consequences to not send it hard. So gotta go for everything you can get.
Yeah, definitely a turtle in this shell, I guess, is what that would be if you're looking at it in that aspect. But unfortunate for him, obviously they got to do the driver reset, or not the reset, but the car reset, and that's going to take a little bit of time. But these guys are going to get back out there. I think that's the main thing here, is that everyone can still have fun, even if you're not particularly doing well in this event.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like Josh and Chris mentioned, this is a lot of fun. This is just a chance to get out and enjoy, and not have to worry or stress too much about it. But I mean, still a lot of competition, and a lot of fun to see what these guys can do. So yeah, we're still, looks like we're underway about our 3rd pit stop here. Josh Edmondson now getting in that number 58 machine, so Blake Reynolds just getting out. He's going to merge into a lot of traffic, and takes out the 38 Double D machine. A pretty big wreck there. I have to see if we can, oh man, was that, looks like that was Brandon Pearl maybe? Yeah, Brandon Pearl went around, and unfortunately, yeah, that 38 Double D machine, looks like he, actually got taken out twice here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so he actually was coming back on the track and then got taken out again. So he had a bit of a rough lap there.
There's a big calamity with the double O. A lot of these guys right now, they're all kind of stuck in one corner. That was kind of wild.
Yeah, definitely. And we mentioned that there was going to be a lot of traffic at different parts of the track. As you see a whole slew of cars going through, and 138 Double D's around and over again. Oh my gosh, this is yeah, a lot of fun.
Everybody's going off. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. So in the recent history on SDK, we show Brandon Pearl, Don Runkle, Ryan File, Ryan Steinhoff, Aaron Bean, Marcus Placcio, and Ryan Steinhoff again in the last minute all have wrecked. Yeah, definitely. It's hard to keep up with all the action we got going on. But why don't we take a second here? Maybe try and go a little bit through the field again, just to update you on where some of our teams are in each class here. How's that sound, Chris?
That sounds great to me.
All right, so we got Josh Edmondson still in that number 58 machine. Just made their third pit stop. Actually, just ran the fastest lap of the race, a 1:13.59 for Josh Edmondson. So definitely boding well for that team so far. Josh Gaiman is in second place, so tons of Joshes here tonight. He is in that number 68 truck, has not made their third pit stop yet. And then Paul Mikolajczyk has driven all the way up to third place now in that Beetle. He has made 2 pit stops, last pit stop coming on lap number 31, just 1 lap before Josh Gaiman's second stop, or their team's second stop, I should say. Hard to keep track of who's got another car over there, but hard to keep track of who's getting in and out of the car when. Eric Whitner, though, looks like he's actually shown, he's shown in the 6th position, but in the 4th position, that'll be Dennis Mickelson in this number 41 machine, who led a few laps at the start of the race, and then is pretty much just been riding comfortably here in the top 5. Was in the podium spaces now, but relegated to 4th place, but still a pretty solid showing so far for them with a lot of time left. And Aaron Bean rounds out the top 5. That number 74 machine also in the top 5 for most of the race so far. So definitely a lot of action to see, a lot of cool cars. I don't have a great way to throw up the names of all the teams, so we're just gonna have to try and work those in here on the sheet as much as we can. But we've got the number 74 machine here, and that is Admin Express. It's Aaron Bean and Matt Kalish. So Aaron currently in the truck of that number 74 machine. Definitely a lot of fun to see what everyone's got for paint schemes and all that fun stuff. So definitely a good time to be had for a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, I think we got a couple more driver changes. You'll see that out throughout the race, and there's still cars just being sprawled throughout the track right now. I thought we were kind of done with the wrecking here, but
big moment for Aiden Winter.
Seems like we're still going.
So he actually. We gotta watch that. We gotta watch that again. That was Eric Whitner. So yeah.
Oh man.
So he actually. So he actually went across the track, all the way across the track here. We're going to watch this because this looked like this was a big moment here. Coming up to the jump, it looks like he, I don't know, just gets a little wide, a little loose, and he hits the wall hard here. And
it was clear for takeoff.
Yeah, just takes off over the berm and onto incoming traffic, and that's where we saw the big moment. That's definitely a little scary to see a car that you're not expecting there. Goes for
I can only imagine the thoughts coming around that corner.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, not obviously a little safer here in the virtual world, but still not something you're expecting to see at all. Car oncoming traffic on a racetrack, but hey, it can happen. And Eric Whitner, hopefully not in VR, and hopefully I would assume doesn't get motion sickness if you're doing this kind of stuff. But definitely not a fun moment if you're in VR watching that car flip through the air like that.
Oh my gosh, definitely. By the way, what's your preferred method of doing the sim racing? Are you a triple screens guy? Are you a VR guy? Are you a widescreen, single monitor? What do you do?
Yeah, so as you see Eric Whitner there pulling into the pits. I've got 3 monitors set up here. Definitely not quite the setup that I'm sure some of these guys have tonight. I would definitely put us more in the maybe the rookie category, or some of the young guns compared to some of the talent we see tonight. But I got those triple monitors, and I got my Logitech G27, and I've got a little wood stand that I have it on, and I still sit in a folding chair. So definitely time to upgrade the equipment soon. But it's a lot of fun to do it. I think the 3 monitor setup is definitely ideal for me. I don't know if I would ever want to get into a VR, but I've heard there's definitely a lot of perks to it. And I guess Chris, if you want to go through what you got for your setup.
Yeah, so I'm doing a single monitor, just a normal,
Okay.
single monitor. We got the 80/20 rig. Guy L. Brooks, I think he's in this field right now. I'm not sure if he's on track, but Guy L. Brooks kind of helped me set my stuff up right now. But there's some stuff I've been looking into the widescreen game, and I just don't think I have room in my house for triple screens. But it's always interesting to talk to other racers about what they have as a setup, and a lot of people have different things. Some people have triple screens and they still do VR, so not sure where all that money's coming from. But with the way that people like to set their rigs up and stuff like that, it's really cool to see what they have. Some people just use a wooden desk. I know famous NASCAR driver Timmy Hill.
Yeah.
He basically just has a clamp, and he just uses his desk chair, and he's a NASCAR driver. He's still whooping people on the surface here, so it's very interesting to see. And so I wonder what all these guys have.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I definitely don't quite get as much out of my G27 as Timmy Hill might, but it's still cool to think that I might have that capability with that simple wheel setup. But definitely a lot of guys with a lot of different levels of equipment, and it's always really cool to see who's running what. So I guess with the wheel, are would you prefer some of the gear-driven stuff, the belt-driven, or the direct drive? What kind of wheel setup do you have there, Chris?
So I had the direct drive. I think it's the DD1 for Fanatec, and
okay.
it's amazing. I came from the CSL version of the Fantex, and then from before that, I had I think a G25. So it was definitely an upgrade once I got to the CSL, and it was a little bit more power. As I think I see another car on this lid, but yeah, just upgrading the rig every once in a while is one of those things that's kind of cathartic. It's one of those things where you upgrade it. I would say this is more of a passion project than some of the guys that they upgrade their cars in real life. So as soon as you put something new here and you get a new wheel or a new base and pedals, whatever it is, everything just feels nice, shiny. You're just smiling the whole time, and you're just just not caring the world. So it's one of those things where I constantly try to have something in the cart, but I just never pulled the trigger to buy anything new.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun trying to optimize that setup. I know I'm probably looking to get an 820 rig here fairly soon myself, but I know I've got a set of CSL Fanatec pedals actually on the way to try and upgrade. So definitely that next step for me. But we're you and I doing more of the local small time leagues versus some of these big events. But it's still fun to be a part of it and get to see a little bit of this world and some of these incredible drivers here tonight.
Oh, definitely, and I hope everyone that's watching, if you're ever interested in iRacing, this is honestly one of the best services for sim racing that you could possibly have. Obviously the entry cost to get some of the equipment, the shiny stuff is a little bit expensive, but you really can get away with, like I said, a 10-year-old wheel and pedals. It really just doesn't matter. It comes down to your skill for the most part. We had the chance to race with a lot of celebrities here, a lot of real world drivers, and sometimes they don't have the expensive shiny stuff. Sometimes they just have something that's 10 years old, and honestly, it's just it's a big community here, and I think I would like to say it's almost like a family.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's so many people in the sim racing community, and even Chris, obviously, we're kind of more of the small time stuff, and getting a big opportunity to broadcast stuff like this tonight. It's still really cool for us to, you get to know somebody, or, it's really inside the sim world. It's really not that crazy to get on any given night, especially in iRacing, get on any given night and see big names, from all the various different, professional level iRacing series that we have. I mean, obviously, there's NASCAR series. Obviously, we talked to Josh earlier about some of the off-road, Josh Edmondson, some of the off-road series that he runs. There's all sorts of stuff from the World of Outlaws, and it's just a huge sim community. And any given night, you could be walking or getting on, logging in, and walking into a lobby with a big name, and I think that's probably one of the coolest things about this is that it's, you know, that opportunity for us little guys, if you will, to actually get in there and rub wheel to wheel with some of the best in the world, and yeah, it's a really cool community to be a part of.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Looking at the getting back to the race and looking at the leaderboard right now, I think I see a Beetle in the top 5. That's actually pretty crazy to me right now.
Yeah.
Is just how fast that guy is. Is that Cameron Pedersen?
Yep.
I can't pronounce that team name, but definitely Cameron Pedersen's behind the wheel of it, and he is on the go right now.
Yeah, definitely. And these were, I mean, obviously they mentioned earlier when we had Josh and Kristen here that Cam's definitely one of the better ones at this craft, and I mean he's absolutely making work by putting that 548 machine, sorry, and that VW into almost into podium placings. He's only got 4 seconds back to Dennis Mickelson in that 41 truck up to 3rd place. So Cameron's doing a lot of work there, 1st overall in his class and 4th overall in the race. And even Eric Whitner still rocking in the top 6 there in that number 17 VW machine. So he is looks like 2 laps down, but still a lot of race left to go.
Definitely.
Oh, he got a big shot there. Sorry.
Ooh, I see it too. Yeah. Oh man.
That was a big shot there by looked like Nathan Metokson, I think there, but not sure on that. But yeah, definitely a big hit there for Eric Whitner, but he'll continue on hopefully. And we do see Aiden Irvin there still in that Subaru machine. He's still running here in the top 10, the first Subaru on track. Doing pretty well as he's actually going to make a pit stop and potentially a driver change here. It'll be, I believe, his 5th stop of the race there, and we'll have to see if someone else gets in the car, if he's going to stay in there. But grabbing some fuel and be on his way here in just a second.
Yeah, probably some baby wipes, get the dirt, the you know, the clear wipes off.
Yeah.
I would assume that these cars are just obviously, you know, the mud's probably just packed at this point.
Yeah.
On the cars, and you really can't see anything. So you know, you see the front of these cars as I think oh my gosh, no, somebody else. I think Eric Whitner just went off, and he's still rolling down the grass.
Oh yeah, he had a pretty big moment there. Another flip for one of the Beatles. See if we can watch this back here. It's that same corner that they had issues with before. I think that was the same car. Look, 2 of them almost. Yeah, just clips it man. And gets a little wide, catches the berm, and just kind of goes for a ride on his side. But yeah, they've. I mean, we mentioned with damage turned off tonight. It's hard not to want to send it because you can be. Maybe not careless being the best word for it, but you can give it a little more juice and you know, be on that throttle more than you might be if you were conserving the car for damage.
Oh, definitely. And looking at that, it seems like what that happened a couple of times so far during this race in the you know, recent minutes. I think these guys are just trying to search for whatever grip they can, and that little corner right there is the best part for them, because I think if they go a little bit wider, they're definitely going to end up on the other side of the track right now. So you know, these guys kind of have to watch out. As you're looking at the track right now, you can see exactly where these cars are just trying to run and how sloppy it is for them to get around.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely starting to take a lot of rubber down on the track, and as we mentioned, that's going to get better for the Beetles and probably the Subarus, and the Pro 4s are pretty much going to continue to even out for the most part. Still running about 1:15 laps for most of the Pro 4s at the front. Obviously, Josh Edmondson, Josh Gaiman, and Dennis Mickelson, top 3 overall on track and top 3 in the class. But Cameron Peterson, Eric Whitner, and Aiden Irvin actually looks like Aiden Irvin and Eric Whitner might be.
Oh, big wreck.
Aiden just actually had a pretty big moment because I just saw it looked like Eric Whitner passed him, but Aiden's on his lid. Unfortunately, he's going to have to take the tow all the way back to the pits, not able to continue on. As Eric Whitner taking a creative line there around the track, definitely cutting a little course off there, but yeah, definitely trying to keep that Volkswagen Beetle inside the top 5 there. So definitely one, I believe, yeah, he's shown, looks about still 2 or 3 laps down on my screen, just over 2 laps down to our overall leader of Josh Edmondson, but definitely a lot of progress made by that 17 Volkswagen Beetle, and just in front of him is actually Cameron Peterson. So this is not, it's a battle on track, but it's actually 1 lap difference between these two drivers, even though they're pretty close to see it. Oh man, another car going off. Looks like that was Brandon Pearl.
That's a dangerous corner right there.
Yeah. This 38 Double D Subaru has had a few wild rides so far, and looks like he might have. It looks like everyone's trying to clip that inside corner, and oh yeah, he just absolutely. I mean, there's no recovering from that whatsoever.
Oh my gosh!
Oh man, what a big moment there for Brandon Pearl, and the one it's shown on the screen is the 138, but on the car we got the 38 Double D. So yeah, fun. Definitely a lot of fun there with that pink, all pink car.
My spine hurts just watching this.
Yeah.
Looking through the field,
Yeah.
I think we're, friend of the broadcast right now, Gael Brooks. He's just kind of getting mauled over by every single car that comes right behind him. So, he's sideways. Good friend of the broadcast right now, and we might get to talk to him later on tonight. But watching him, he's really got me into broadcasting. And getting ready to hang out with you. It's been one of the blessings, I would say, in the last 6 months. So, doing this and the broadcasting has definitely been great, and I definitely have to credit to you and Gael for kind of just bringing me into the fold here.
Yeah, thanks. Obviously we've been good friends with Gael for quite a while now, and race with him and broadcast with him. But he was really the one that brought us the opportunity from Chris and Josh to try and get into the broadcast booth and showcase what we can do. And obviously, more of a fun event, but still trying to give you guys as good of a show as we can. It's definitely a lot of fun, and appreciate being a part of it. But Gael there in the number 555 machine, he's doing pretty well. They're actually the team's up to 11th place right now, so they're actually up 13 spots from their qualifying position. That's actually the highest mover on track, so definitely a good run for them so far. And I might actually take a chance to bring up his teammate there. We've got a pretty cool deal for Josh Cox that I'll let him explain as we pull him up into the broadcast booth. Yeah, so we got Josh Cox there. We got your car, Gael Brooks, on screen right now. Your teammate running that 555 car, and we noticed that that Extra Life logo on the side of the car there, Josh. Want to give you a chance to plug that and tell us what you do with that organization.
Yeah, I certainly appreciate you guys putting the teammate up there at this particular juncture. Extra Life is a charity organization that we work with throughout the year. Their goal is to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So for us, it's the Children's Hospital of Illinois. Raise money for those hospitals through gaming. So every year we put on a series of events, a couple on iRacing, and then we just do some streams on our own. And people can donate online to our individual campaigns, and then the 4 of us form a team and try to raise as much money as we can. So every year we'll celebrate the end of our stream with, or the end of our fundraising season with a big 24-hour non-stop stream. So we stay up all night and try to stay awake, which is always part of the struggle and part of the fun, but it's something that we enjoy doing. And last year we raised, I think, just shy of $14,000. So we are looking to hit that number again this year and try to make a difference in the lives of some kids.
Yeah, definitely an incredible cause there that you guys are doing with that organization, and yeah, definitely appreciate what you do, and definitely love to see you guys running that paint scheme out on track. And obviously we saw Gael go off the track just a little bit there, but
oh no,
definitely definitely a lot of fun to see you guys running out there and having a good time so far.
Yeah, certainly appreciate you guys giving us the chance to have a shout out. If people are interested, it's the website is extra-life.org. They can go sign up. Anybody can sign up. So if you want to raise some money for your local hospital, please go jump on. It's a ton of fun and worth the investment.
Yeah, definitely a great cause, and obviously there's a lot of other hospitals that organization benefits too. But we appreciate all that you do, Josh, for the Children's Hospital of Illinois, and yeah. Keep up the great work, man.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. right, we'll see if we can throw. Actually, Josh, I apologize. We might have to let you go back to your own channel on your own. Hard. Still trying to figure out the new Discord channel, but might have to have you find your own way back to your server there.
No worries, I'll keep it quiet.
Yeah, no worries. See if we can get you moved there. Oh, looks like Guile is actually going for a pretty wild ride there. He's
doing it again.
Yeah. All right. A little bit of downtime as try to figure out what we're doing here.
I got
yeah.
it.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. All right. So yeah, we've got 21 minutes left here. So let's see if we can go through maybe the top two of each class and see where they're running. We've still got the number 58 machine of Josh Edmondson. He is got a 45-second lead over Josh Gaiman in the number 68 machine. So
I think those are only two cars in the lead lap, too.
Yeah, I think so, too. But one lap down, just barely one lap down, is Cam Peterson here. He's making a lot of work here to take this 548 machine up into the podium placings now, and is the first VW on track. Second one, again, is Eric Whitner in now the top 5 in that 5th position in that 17 machine. Nick Wellhouse there was in 4th just between these two. He's the 3rd truck in that Pro 4 category. We got to go back to 9th place to find our first running Subaru. That's still Aiden Irvin, who's got quite a bit of a gap to 2nd place in the class, which is Trevor Teal. So Aiden in 9th place. Trevor Teal currently running in 16th overall in the 112 machine with our buddy Chris Leone, who we've already had a chance to interview. So they're still looking pretty good in the podium placings there. Our first Pro, we got to go back up the leaderboard to get to our first limited truck, the Pro 2s. That is Nick Nowak now driving the number 217 machine for, looks like AMX iRacing, and they're still, they've pretty much been at the top of this class most of the night, so definitely a good showing for them, as Ryan Burton is in the 294 machine, 2nd place in that limited truck. So we'll get a chance as the race finishes up to try and interview some of the drivers from each of these winning trucks and get a chance to hear how their races went and see how it's going. But actually, let's take a chance, see if we can pull up the one of the co-drivers of that first overall team of Josh Edmondson. See if we can get, I believe this is Blake Reynolds here. So we got Blake Reynolds up here grabbing you in the booth. We're watching Josh Edmondson drive right now in that number 58 machine, and still at the top of the leaderboard after you've gotten out. How you guys feeling with 19 minutes left to go in the race?
I don't know how Josh feels. He was kind of ripping there, but I feel pretty good. Josh is like a second lap faster than I am, so it feels better to have a faster person in the truck. And
yeah.
We've gotten hits. And he's good. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. It's, Park River's my favorite off-road track, so it's probably just because I have the most laps on it. I've done, it's my 3rd group therapy race here, I think.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a fun track and a discipline I am not used to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how does this compare to obviously your discipline? Being paved ovals pretty much for the most part. I mean, in stock cars, how does that compare to what you're doing here tonight? And what's the most fun difference between this and what you're normally used to?
What's fun in this is you kind of have to try to get sideways. Compared to oval, you kind of have to try to not be sideways. So I was telling Josh right before the race, and I was practicing or warming up. Usually it takes me a little bit because, like, at least an hour to switch mindsets because I'm really slow to begin with just because I'm trying to keep it straight, pointed. Obviously now it's kind of like that because it's so slicked off, but on the fresh track, I had to pitch it sideways, hard with the throttle, get on the brake, downshift, get the revs. It's a whole different driving style. But yeah, actually last night I was racing the Gen 4 Cup cars. So those are kind of new to iRacing, accidentally new to iRacing. And man, I feel like the transition was a little less just because those cars are so sideways, a lot of horsepower.
Okay.
Just like this Pro 4, I mean, this thing is a beast. I love driving this thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I guess I'm curious to hear your takes. I think some of the some of, maybe not the rumors, but some of the common thinking is that Gen 4 quote unquote mistake may have been more of a feeler than an actual mistake. But what are your thoughts on that new car added to the sim?
I definitely believe that. I do know there are some people at iRacing that are big fans of some things that maybe are not on there yet. So I definitely believe that theory, that somebody did it on purpose to give us something high horsepower, because unfortunately we didn't have it there for a couple of years. So
Yeah.
It's good to have it. The 87 cars obviously are there, but a more modern car, high horsepower, yeah, it's a lot of fun. But,
Yeah.
yeah, it is definitely a lot of fun. I've always, back in NIS in 2013, 14, 15, when I first started on here, I remember thinking like, oh, as Josh gets hit again, I remember thinking like, wow, I'm not going fast enough. I'm only going like 215 into turn 1 in Michigan or Auto Club. Now even next gen does like 189,
Yeah.
90.
Yeah.
It's wild to think how far we've come. But what was it? I just ran Charlotte. I did like McCandless's World 600 yesterday.
Okay.
And that car, it does 197 in turn 1. Fresh tires in the
Yeah.
Charlotte. It's crazy.
That's a lot of speed. That's a lot of speed going into turn 1 of Charlotte for sure.
Yeah, and qualifying, the top in 1 and 2 was ripping, and actually I was getting sideways there, purposely getting the side force. It was a ridiculous feeling. You can't do that on any of the truck, Xfinity car, or the Cup car.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's definitely interesting to see something like that where iRacing kind of changes the car, and you see a massive, I would say, overhaul of people just kind of going into that section of racing. Usually, late at night, you see, everyone goes to the C-Fix series or something like that, or people used to kind of just use ARCA as a way to farm iRating and not necessarily do anything else. But now they've actually made a fixed series, and it's a competitive series. It's been constantly full of competitors, so it's nice to see things like that on there. I kind of wish that they would fix a couple other series on the platform, but for them to make this happy accident, this happy mistake, is really nice to see that it's kind of being fulfilled with drivers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, cool. Well, we'll let you get back to it. Hopefully, see you guys or bring you back up in a minute. Got still 14 minutes of action left, but looking pretty good with over a lap lead over second place right now. So keep running strong, and hope to talk to you at the end of this thing.
Yeah, Josh has got this Apex Game PC's Ford, I think it is.
Yep.
Rolling good as he avoids another. Okay.
Good at wreck avoidance, because you need to do a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, I had a little bit of those. Yeah, hopefully we'll see y'all in a couple minutes.
All right, sounds good. All right. Hopefully we threw him back in the right room there. We're still getting used to the new Discord here for us, but yeah, it's been a blast. I mean, I don't know for you, Chris, but it's really cool to to get a chance to talk to some of these guys. I mean, these are big names out here in iRacing that are doing pretty well, and it's fun to see them at the top of their game, as I mentioned before.
Yeah, it is. It's very interesting. Not really having been that much exposure to this type of racing before. Obviously, we've seen either Pro 4s or just even the Subarus and stuff like that. Just watching that race in general, but to see a multi-class race at a place like this at Bark River is amazing to see. So this is it's definitely caught my eye, and if I'm not hired to do another one of these events, I think I want to be one of the racers in this. So I might team up with somebody in here. And we've definitely got to talk to a bunch of interesting characters and stuff like that. So it's nice to just kind of like rub shoulders, and once again, like the racing community in itself is almost a family. It's very close knit. If you don't know somebody else that probably knows that person. So it's one of those things that it almost feels like a small town.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of people to get to know, and it's a really great community to be a part of. But we're winding down here with about 12 minutes, just over 12 and a half, or just under 12 and a half minutes now left to go here at Bark River. We've got plenty of action left, so we actually see Cameron Peterson still rocking the podium placings right now. He is actually just behind Nick Wellhouse, so we're gonna actually keep an eye on this battle right here, as this battle is for position on track. The 41 machine trying to keep that second place as they go door to door. The 48 giving him the door, the 548 giving him the door, and he's gonna take that spot. Cameron Peterson is up to second place overall, still one lap back to Josh Edmondson, but definitely boding well for that 548 machine and Cameron Peterson behind the wheel right now. They mentioned that he was going to be fast towards the end of this race.
That is crazy to me to know that this Beetle, you look at the rest of them, they're all down in the order, but how fast these guys have gotten, as this track is worn out. I know we talked about it before, but it's still amazing to see in person.
Yeah, definitely incredible. I mean, it's really cool to see some of that, that track change making such a huge difference for these cars and really evening them out, because when you can see the 48 machine starting to pull away just a little bit over the 41 and trying to extend that lead, that probably is just about our closest battle on track. Definitely closest battle for one of the higher positions, but first overall for the VWs for Cameron, and second overall in the race right now. So 10 minutes to go. I don't know if he's going to cut into the lead of Josh Edmondson and Blake Reynolds, but definitely got a chance there in this 48 machine, as they're running pretty good laps. They're about a second faster than, oh man, just about anybody on the track. Eric Whitner actually ran a 1:14.76. Cameron ran a 1:14.57 that last lap, and most of these Pro 4s are running about 1 minute and 15 second laps. So Cameron's definitely doing a lot of work, and so is Jeff Whitner here, still trying to improve their placings and see what they can get here in the last 10 minutes of this race as we start to wind down.
Yeah, there are a couple of surprises out here. Just looking at how these guys are running. Obviously, we see Pedersen running second right now, but looking at Irvin, obviously we saw him kind of get to a couple of big wrecks, big flips throughout the race. But he's still running eighth. And looking at the rest of this field, these guys aren't necessarily too far from each other. They're about one or two mistakes or wrecks away from honestly dropping 4 or 5 positions or gaining 4 or 5 positions that way. So very interesting to see, and it's not over really for this race, even though a lot of these cars are a little bit spread out.
Yeah, definitely. There's still a lot of positions. I mean, Aiden Irvin is only 1.8 seconds ahead of Chad Cole in the 21 machine, who's just behind him for position on track. So there's definitely a lot of spots still up for grabs, and I'm sure a few more are going to change within the last 10 minutes of the race, as we got just over 9 minutes now left to go, and probably less than 6 laps or so around this track. So it doesn't seem like it's a long time, or it doesn't seem like it's long time, but it's gonna go by pretty quick, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we said this, it's 100 minutes. It honestly doesn't even feel like that. It feels like we just kind of started streaming right now. So the excitement here for me, this has just been a great event to watch and to hang out with you and the viewers right now. So it's one of those things where the time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun, and it seems like for a 100-minute race, it seems like it kind of went by pretty quick there in the middle stages. But got a chance to talk to some really great people, and had a lot of fun to do this. Definitely looking forward, or hoping to get the opportunity to come back at some point and get to know some of these guys better, and continue to maybe broadcast, or at least keep tabs on this league, because it's a really cool thing that Yes2 Motorsports puts on here. I mean, obviously. We talked to Chris Leone earlier about how much they do. I think he said just about every single Thursday and Sunday night they're doing something with these the trucks or the Beetles or the Subarus or different styles of off-road racing. It's really cool to see how many of these guys really support that, and what opportunities there are out there. I mean, they mentioned there's over 400 people in this Yes2 Motorsports League, so definitely a big following here on iRacing and in the community.
Definitely, and getting back to the action, I think Cameron Peterson's just extended his lead by getting through, I think, 3 or 4 lap down cars, or just lap traffic right now. So the way that these Beetles are cutting through the field, or at least for Cam Peterson, Cam Peterson, the way he's cutting through the field, I think he's going to get away with this. The way this is going right now, he was able to just cut through and carve through those guys like butter.
Yeah, we'll see. So Josh Edmondson's actually in the pits right now. He's still got a decent gap to Cameron Peterson here in second place, but we'll see where he ends up as he comes out, and still about a 1 minute and 45-second gap, so just over one lap. Cameron's definitely going to be in pretty good shape for this VW class. Eric Whitner is currently 2 minutes behind him, so over a lap back to second place here, fifth overall for Eric Whitner. So definitely seeming like it's going to be a pretty cool. It's going to be pretty cool to see at least a Pro 4 and a VW, not just in obviously they'll be first overall in their classes, but they're 1 and 2 on the track right now as well.
I feel like he might have a chance to pull it all out right now. I think he might be able to come out with a win if some more misfortunes happen. And I think he can keep it up. He is just flying through the field, just cutting people down right now.
Yeah, so something to note, he's actually got about a 30-second lead over Nick Wellhouse now, who we just saw him pass not too long ago. So not entirely sure if there were some issues for that 41 truck, but Nick's still running well in that third position, but didn't take long for Cameron Peterson to grab that 30-second lead over this third place truck of Nick Wellhouse.
Definitely, and I think before we give any commentators curse, I think we could definitely move on to somebody else here. So,
yeah.
looking back through the field, it looks like Ryan Burton and Ruby Acosta. It looks like these guys. I like seeing the truck battles here. It's definitely, we haven't really talked about it too much, but looking at the truck battles, these guys definitely can beat and bang, and the way that they slide up on each other is very interesting to see. And watching these three cars, or these three trucks, kind of duke it out right now, it's one of those things is interesting to see who's going to be able to get around each other, because they're all driving sloppy, but they're all driving as best as possible at the same time.
Yeah, they're driving good. I think for the most part, these guys are actually separated by one lap. So we're on Ruby Acosta right now, currently in 19th place, 1 lap behind. Check here. Yeah, 1 lap behind. Was it Nick Nowak that we were watching? No, it wasn't Nick Nowak. I apologize, but. Yeah, there's definitely. They're definitely running pretty hard back to back.
McKee.
McKee, thank you. That was the name. Oh man, so trying to find
into the wall. These guys are running hard, and I think I'm not sure if they're. Well, I think they're what? Are they the lights? The Reds?
Yeah, the Reds are the lights. Yes.
Yeah, I think they have a Pro 4 behind them. So this is gonna be a little interesting to see how these guys navigate around each other. And as I see a big lunge out of that car, or out of that truck right there.
Yeah, definitely a lot going on. That's for sure. Now they see the 999 racing side by side with that 68 machine of Joshua Gaiman. He's actually up in 4th place right now in that Marconi setup shop, number 68. So you see, definitely a lot of opportunity to race around lap cars. You have to understand, how they're going to drive differently, and a lot of, for the most part, the Pro 2s and the Pro 4s aren't super different. But the definitely have to be mindful of the Subarus and the VWs that they're going to be driving a lot different line, or completely different car on the track. And size is also a big thing. Obviously these trucks are huge compared to especially the VWs, so you have to be mindful of them out on the track as everyone's mired back in tons of lap traffic right now.
Yeah, one of the weirdest things to me about the trucks is just the gearing. I think it's either 1 or 2 gears that these guys have, possibly 3, but it's not your traditional 4. Even if you're a road course person, you're not having that 6th or 7th gear. So the fact that you have low gearing and then you're just kind of going through, staying in the same gear the whole time throughout, very weird. I know it's almost a culture shock whenever I had to do it. So. Whenever you get to these guys, if there's someone that hasn't really run this much, I think it's something where muscle memory definitely fails you whenever you try to run this. If you're one of the guys that like to do road course racing or even the stock cars.
Yeah, definitely a big difference for sure between these and like some of the paved vehicles. I mean, even differences in like the dirt oval stuff too. So a lot of different stuff going on. But we've got about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. So we'll take a quick update on some of our drivers in the top of their classes. Josh Edmondson still running at the lead for Team Prick in that number 58 truck, making a lot of fast laps. Ran a 1:14.92 that last lap, but Cameron Peterson is trying to close. He was a second faster there and running a 1:13.94 that last time by. He's actually first overall, second on track. You see they're actually 1-2 on track, but that's 1 lap difference between there, between the 58 and the 48 there, as the 48's actually going to take, looks like,
he's pitting.
Yep, should be his last pit cycle for the rest of the race. Unfortunate to have to pit with 2 laps to go, but still has a pretty comfortable lead there. Nick Wellhouse currently in that 41 machine. He is second place right now, third overall, but second place in the unlimited trucks in that Ford Raptor. So we'll pick up, looks like Eric Whitner is still the second place VW Beetle there we see shown in that 6th position, and he's actually got Aiden Irvin just behind him battling now for position on track. They're battling for 6th and 7th, but Aiden is first overall in that Subaru class. So Aiden making some pretty good laps, quite a bit faster there actually than Eric Winter that last time by, so making up some ground, and that'll be a fun battle to see here as the race winds down. We go all the way back. Actually, we'll pick up the Pro 2s. Nick Nowak still leading this race here in that 2:17 machine, with Ryan Burton about 25 seconds off his pace there. Second place in the limited trucks in the Pro 2, so that's 1 and 2 in that class. And then we've got finally second place in the Subarus is the 112 machine of Trevor Teal with teammates Ian Fisher and Chris Leone. So still a lot of battles to be had as they're actually going to make their final pit stop, it looks like, with 40 seconds left to go in the race. So unfortunate to have to pit on that last lap, but it looks like a lot of guys are going to have to do it. So we're pretty much here on the last lap. We're going to see Josh Edmondson here take that Team 58, Team Prick. He's got the white flag in the air one more time around the speedway. About a minute 15 for our overall leader before we'll get back to see him take the checkered flag.
Yeah, he's kept that truck clean. That team's kept that truck clean the whole time, relatively clean. Obviously, it has mud on it, but they've kept out of trouble the whole time. And I think this is one of the real keys to trying to win this race. We've seen people like the Gael. They were able to have the largest passing right now in the race. But for these guys right now to run around this track the way that they did, honestly, it's just staying out of trouble.
Yeah, definitely helps a lot if you can try and keep the car clean and keep it pointed. No yellows, as we mentioned early on, so you got to really pay attention to being able to stay out of trouble and not get caught up and have any issues. But Josh Edmondson's going to come around here. He's got a couple more corners to go before he takes that checkered flag. Cameron Peterson is about 1.5 seconds back, so 1 lap behind, so don't think he's going to make it there. So our overall winner looks like, as he's going to come across the stripe, is going to be the number 58 of Blake Reynolds and Josh Edmondson crossing the finish line. Checkered flag in the air. Josh Edmondson, overall winner. See if we can watch Cameron Peterson here come to the line. He's going to be your second place overall and first place in the VW class coming to the line. There he crosses and finishes his race. Cut to there after probably had a big moment there after we cut away. But Nicholas Wellhouse here, third place overall. He's going to be coming across the line in just a second here. No competition. Joshua Gaiman is 11 seconds back, but Joshua Gaiman in the 68 machine will still take that podium placing, as we'll see the 41 of Nick Wellhouse crossing the line there. Joshua Gaiman here still coming back around. A lot of trucks still making their way around the speedway to finish up the race here. And no problem for the 68 machine. Going to take that 4th place home tonight. And looks like that's pretty much cycles through most of it. I think everyone's just about through the line. We see Eric Whitner there doing some some fun extracurricular activities after the race is over there. And looks like Aiden Irvin was able to bring it home victorious in the Subaru class, and Nick Nowak winner in the Pro 2 series. So definitely a lot of fun here tonight, and we still have a little bit more fun to go. As we're going to get a chance to interview some of these drivers and some of these teams, and hear how their races went. Let's maybe start with our overall race winner of Josh Edmondson and Blake Reynolds. We'll take a second here, and we'll get these guys up here in the booth. We got Josh up here now, and we got Blake here too. And I apologize, was there anybody else that I missed on your guys' team, or was it just the two of you guys?
Yeah, just us two.
All right, so yeah, take us through the strategy and what it took to earn that win for you guys tonight.
Oh man, I think it was just survive. War of attrition, kind of. Blake did awesome starting the race off and managing to get the lead and extend the gap, being smart.
Yep, that's what I was told.
So just sticking to the game plan and staying out of trouble seemed like it made a lot of difference here in this crazy event.
Yeah, it's crazy. Go ahead, Blake.
Yeah, definitely a crazy event. 4 classes on a dirt track that I don't think this track ever gets that worn in ever. So it's cool to see it turn into that, and a lot of attrition, of course, and a lot of the skill gaps between the classes. It's always cool to see, and it's really interesting too. The rally cars are the fastest at the end, and we were just lucky enough to have pulled such a gap.
Did you guys have trouble with any class in particular, or is it just you're facing a different battle throughout the stints of the race?
Tonight is the Subies.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we definitely saw Cameron Peterson there in that VW. You know, Josh, you kind of mentioned he'd be fast here. They were definitely catching you, by about a second a lap. But like you said, you pulled enough of a gap early on in the race. Was there any concern for you, Josh, towards the end of the race as they were catching? I mean, or were you guys pretty much not worried with the gap you had?
Yeah, once I saw the gap and I knew where they were, and if he came up to me, he was about to take his lap back, and I wouldn't have fought it. I think we had enough a gap at that point. So I think they probably got hit or something. I'm sure we'll find out, because usually it's a lot closer than that. I expected it to come down to the last lap.
Yeah, definitely seemed like, like we said earlier, that the VWs would definitely come to life, but that gap making the big difference here. Well, yeah, I mean, congratulations, you guys. Obviously, Josh, want to thank you once again for putting on the event, and always fun to win an event that you put on yourself. But any thanks for shout outs you guys want to give for that first place finish here tonight?
Absolutely. As a NASCAR driver myself, I'm pretty good at sponsors.
Figured.
Apex Gaming PCs, Nitro Circus, Next Level Racing, Chris for putting this on, yes to y'all, of course, Racecraft, and anyone else, Josh?
That's it. Pimax VR for me.
All right.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, guys. How are you going to celebrate this one tonight?
Man, that's tough. I'm probably going to kick back and cool down because I'm sweating right now.
Me too. I'll have a water and then afterward a Dos Equis and a shower.
Oh, that sounds good.
Does sound pretty good. Well, cool.
A beer
Well,
shower.
congratulations again on a race well run, and big win for you guys tonight.
Thanks again.
Yep, no problem. All right, so those were the overall winners here. We're going to pull up our next class, as we got Cameron Peterson's going to be that driver. We mentioned he was closing in there towards the end, so we'll pull up Cam here. And Cam, who else? I apologize, I'm missing it right now, but who else do we have on your team to pull up in for an interview?
Yeah, Paul Mikolajczyk.
Okay, Paul. We talked to Paul earlier in the race, or we didn't talk. I talked to Paul before the race to at least get his name correct. But yeah, you guys were definitely coming on strong there towards the end. You mentioned a few times that the VWs would eventually be there at the end and making better laps. We saw you guys were about a second better than Josh Edmondson towards the end there, Cam. And yeah, take us through some of the final laps and how you got that second place finish tonight.
Yeah, for sure. In terms of my my stint that I had, which is I think the last maybe 40% of the race, taking over the wheel from Paul, he did a phenomenal job. Did a great job, and yeah, I knew that the track was going to be worn in. I knew where the line was going to be, and when that track, when it wears in, man, it gets so bumpy with the worn in VWs, and it becomes a very hefty challenge to be able to keep that car in all fours. So I was trying to just run clean, consistent laps. I wasn't really trying to be able to run the quickest lap possible, because I think last time I ran this race, I put myself on my lid and had to tow. So I think it was just about consistency for me this time. But I think we're still able to pull away with maybe the fastest lap of the race, or we're maybe top 3 somewhere up there. So we definitely had the speed. We just we didn't have that pace at the start. But that's not Paul's fault at all. It's just the track. It's definitely just the track. I don't blame Paul whatsoever.
I don't know. It sounds like you're throwing me under the bus there, Kim.
No, not at all. No.
Great showing by you guys tonight. For having the Beetle and obviously being the top of the class right there. At the end though, you guys, was there any like fuel strategy that you guys probably could have played out to where you didn't have to pit with 2 minutes left to go?
I think we got most of it. We got all of it out of it that we could, I think. It seemed like we were pitting, or I got Paul to pit later than most of the other VWs. So I think we got as much out of it as we could. Maybe we can play a strategy next time where we can kind of juice the fuel strategy, Paul. But I don't know. I think we got most out of it as we could.
Yeah, and it also kind of matters how the track wears in, because the more rubber that gets put down, the more and more you have to be on the throttle just to get faster and faster, because it's almost like driving on an asphalt track. So you're using more throttle.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw a lot of changes throughout the track, and definitely mentioning a lot of differences in how the line was going to work there towards the end. But did you guys pretty much expect the race to play out this way, or were you kind of expecting the track to change the way it was and trying to stay ahead of that, or were there any surprises out there tonight?
Will you take that, Paul?
I mean, I always expected to be faster the rally cars. Last season, I always ran the Subaru, and as soon as the black starts showing up at all, it's a rocket ship. So I expected that a little bit in the Beetle Light as well, and especially the Beetle Light starts off way quicker. But I didn't get to experience the bumps that Cam experienced, so I have no comment on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just you floor it and just hopefully it hooks up at the end. I know Paul didn't have that privilege at the beginning. He definitely had to throttle it and coaxed the car away around the corners, whereas I just had the ability to just kind of mat it, and the car is mostly just still worked for me. So yeah, it was a lot of grip at the end there, and it was definitely in our favor.
Yeah, definitely hard-earned second place overall, and first place in the class. Definitely want to give you guys any opportunities for any thanks or shout-outs for that podium place tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely want to thank you guys, Racecraft TV, for putting this on, Josh and everyone and Chris, Leone, for putting this on. This is always a blast to run. I highly recommend anyone who runs iRacing to run this. It's a blast, especially if you can run against some friends. It's a blast. I want to thank Sim Magic, Pimax, everyone watching, and Paul for being the teammate. He did a phenomenal job. Did it great, and everyone watching, thank you.
Yeah, I like to second what Cam said. I also like to thank Racecraft Academy and Apex Gaming PCs.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again, guys, and hard-earned second place. And how are you going to celebrate this one tonight?
I think Cam already started celebrating before the race even started. So
yeah, I had to do something while Paul was running there. So
good. Good deal. Well, congratulations once again, guys, and hard-earned second place.
Thank you.
All right, see if we can pull up a few more. We've got Aiden Irvin to pull up as well. So we've got our Subaru class overall winner, Aiden Irvin. We'll have to grab your teammate. Is Tom in the Discord as well?
No, so Tom and I actually did a live driver swap. Tom's in town at my house, so we were driving on the same equipment.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's definitely that's a lot more fun to manage versus actually, like, obviously when you do the driver change in iRacing, it's a little lackluster, it's not as fun, but you guys actually got to get in and out of the same seat. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we've done enough of these where I think we've gotten used to all of the the sim racing extras you get with having multiple drivers, which you pretty much get a spotter at all times. But I think the worst part was we were just running blind, trying our best to see people coming out of the pits and whatnot, and it was hectic, but it was fun.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty cool. Pretty cool to hear that. Yeah, I mean, were you guys? I know obviously it seemed like you were starting to make a lot more progress towards the end. Obviously, the Pro 4s and the VWs a little bit stronger towards the beginning, but you were making a lot of good time towards the end of the race there. Were you expecting to be a little bit closer to the overall front, or was that kind of about where you expected to finish in the field tonight?
Yeah, we definitely want to be closer to the overall. We've had some of these races on different tracks that we've been battling for the overall. I think we're a little disappointed not being closer. We were discussing near the end of the race that it seems like maybe Bark River just doesn't have enough dead straightaways where the Subaru can really stretch its legs, and you end up kind of over driving some of the short stuff. I think that's where the Beetle maybe is a little bit of an advantage. So we hope to be up there next time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I guess Chris, if you have anything you want to add, go for it.
Yeah, you guys were top of the boards for your class, and obviously there's a lot of chaos at certain parts of the track, certain times of the track, and we saw a bunch of cars kind of flip, do a bunch of turtle stuff, and just getting into each other's way. Were you having any particular trouble with a certain class of car, or sorry, truck or vehicle when you guys were running around?
Yeah, we did one of these in a pro light one time, and I think we both absolutely hated it because you were looking in your rear view the whole time. So we understand the pain of being a pro light, but it's tough coming through because you're trying to decide, inside, outside, to get them down straight away and whatnot. It's hectic for sure.
Yeah, does the size difference of some of the vehicles, obviously the Subarus and the VWs are a lot smaller than the trucks, does the size difference play into like how how you can race side by side with somebody else, or?
No, I think the hardest part really is the amount of drive a Subaru late in the race gets. If you can just stay on the slick stuff, it's unsettling sometimes when you come up on someone mid corner. It feels like you just have infinite grip and they're sliding around.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let Tom get some words in.
Sure. Yeah, go for it. Doing a live live driver swap in the interview as well. Yeah, yeah.
Hey guys.
We got Tom Grady now. Yeah, congratulations on that hard-earned class win for tonight. Yeah, take us through your vantage point from tonight.
Yeah, we knew. I think like Gaten was saying, we're starting to have more experience with the Subaru for these events where we know we're on the slower side at the start of the race, but it really just keeps getting faster and faster, and a little bit with pit strategy, a little bit with just getting the faster lap times than the other classes towards the end of the race. We knew that we were going to come around, but kind of some self-inflicted wounds towards the middle of the race kind of threw that out. But then we were already, I think, 2 laps down from the top Pro 4 at that point, so we knew that was way too much to make up in the second half of the race just with lap time alone.
Yeah, I think we saw you guys go for a couple or at least one wild ride there. Definitely a lot of chaos towards the middle of the race there.
Yeah, it wasn't you guys. It was just me a couple different times.
Yeah.
So I think I had the instincts of the Pro 4 line entering that corner, and the Subaru just had a little bit more grip, so I kept catching that berm on that turn one.
Yeah.
Turn one jump.
Definitely happens. Definitely that that jump at just after turn one, just after the start finish line going uphill there, kind of a blind corner. It seemed like that caught a lot of different cars off balance and had a lot of issues there.
Yep. Yeah. No. It's a hard one, especially if you don't get your line off that start finish line jump the same every time. Then you have to adjust your turn in and how fast you're going too. And then obviously with the off-road stuff, the grip changes lap to lap, so you have to account for that as well. And sometimes you don't make the right changes and then go for a ride.
Yeah, definitely. Well, cool. Well, yeah, definitely a hard-earned class win for you guys tonight. Want to give you and Aiden any chances for any thanks and shout-outs for that win tonight.
Yep. Thank you to the guys over at Legion Speed Sports and then Alter Ego Running for all their support. And looking forward to the next one of these.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. I want to ask you guys how you going to celebrate this one tonight.
I think we're gonna watch back through the replay and relive the chaos we had, and take a breather, because I think both of us have been on edge trying to work through the pack, work through the traffic, and now we can just relax and enjoy it now.
Yeah, good deal. Well, congratulations to you, Tom and Aiden, and yeah, congratulations. It's a hard-earned win, and yeah, appreciate
Thank
you
you,
guys.
guys.
Yep. All right, we've got one more set of interviews to do, and that will be with the 217 machine. Pull up Nick Nowak here. Get him into the broadcast booth, and we got we'll have to grab your teammate. We have yep, we got Cody as well, so we'll pull Cody up here. And yeah, how did that race go from your guys' vantage point tonight?
It was good. It was a fun race. It seemed a little calmer than some of the other races that we've done with these guys before, but it was definitely a lot of fun out there.
Nice. For you guys right now, was there anything where y'all kind of regretted the vehicle that y'all chose? Was there a different vehicle that you guys kind of wanted to possibly take next time if y'all do it again next time?
No, we us over at AMX, we do a lot of Pro 2 light stuff and love it. We've made the suggestion in the past, if they had the dirt street stocks on the off-road, we run those quite a bit and have a league going with that in AMX. And we've got some good setups and a decent baseline setup for that, and love doing those cars on that. So our vote is to put the dirt street stocks out there and maybe replace one of the other cars, but that's kind of up to Yes2 Motorsports guys to decide on. But we absolutely are plumb happy with the Pro Lights. We love running those.
Okay. What about the truck makes you enjoy it so much?
Cody, you can go ahead.
I mean, it's one of the easiest to drives, obviously. I mean, it's made for the track. I don't know. I mean, I've just learned that's what I learned to do the off-road in, so it's just made it the easiest for me.
It's fun keeping with the lights. You got to keep the momentum up and keep it moving a little bit. And it's challenging with this many cars on the track to stay momentum based when so many guys are coming by you, and you got to get out of the groove a little bit and let them go and still keep that momentum up.
Would you say that it's tougher at the beginning of the race or at the end when everything's already slicked off?
It's definitely tougher at the end.
Yes.
Okay.
The trucks when it's blue groove like that really bad, it doesn't want to turn because it just doesn't have the horsepower to it to get it to rotate. So you're kind of searching for that little bit of moisture in the track and finding the edges and pushing out a little bit more to get into that the dirt instead of the blue groove.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the VW and the Subaru really take to life, towards the end of that race, and can handle that blue groove a lot better and really put the power down. But yeah, I mean, you guys are still able to. 11th overall is still pretty respectable in the Pro 2 class, and obviously you guys were able to take home that win. So congratulations to you guys. Yeah. Want to give you the floor to have any thanks and shout outs for that first place overall in the Pro 2 category tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it. Thank you guys, of course, for broadcast. And I know all of us, we got some teammates that didn't race today and doing other stuff. We're going to hop on and watch the broadcast as soon as this is over, which is always fun to watch with you guys. But I'll go ahead and thank all of our sponsors over at AMX. BGM Racing, Just Trim Lawn Service. 906 Dirt Guys are great. RTL Media Productions. R&M Automotive. KDW. Crazy Design Works. Cody, you got anybody else you want to say thanks to?
I think you've got them all.
Also want to give a shout out to Team Rick. We raced them hard last season, and great bunch of guys. We love racing with them. We have a little friendly smack talk with them and back and forth. So we got the one up on them tonight, but I know they're going to come back strong next race.
Yeah, they weren't too far behind you guys there in second place overall in the class, but yeah, it's good to see some good side-by-side battling throughout the night for sure.
Oh, we were watching them very closely to see where they were at. They are definitely a contender, so that's we watch a lot.
Yeah, it seemed like towards the end there they were catching just a little bit more. Was there any nerves as far as them catching you towards the end of the race, or did you think you pretty much had it?
I think we were both pretty comfortable with it. I was driving, and Cody kept looking back and giving me updates of where they're at and stuff like that. But like you said, the Subarus and Libido lights get so fast at the end that every corner you come around, there's a new one right behind you. So you got to get out of the way and let them go. So you end up going a little bit slower and slower on those last couple laps too. So, but we are definitely keeping an eye on them.
Yeah. Well, good deal. Well, congratulations once again to you, Nick and Cody. And how are you going to celebrate this one tonight?
To be determined yet.
Okay. All right. And you, Cody?
Well, I'm already in another race, so.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys both enjoy, and congratulations on that class win tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. I think that'll pretty much do it for the interviews here for tonight. We'll take a second here. We'll bring up the full results and go through that before we sign off here, just to get everyone a little bit more airtime and get to see those wonderful team names once again. So we'll hide that. That's the grid, actually, but we'll pull up the results here. And obviously, we had Josh Edmondson, the last driver for that number 58 machine for Team Prick, getting the overall win. And then Cameron Peterson in the 48 machine on the car, 548 on the scoreboard. I tried to pronounce it at the beginning of the race. I'm not going to do it again, but one lap behind for Cameron Peterson and his team there in that VW. Nicholas Wellhouse finishing the race for Wisco Off-Road in that 41. Joshua Gaiman, G-Money Motorsports, one lap, last car on the one lap down. Jeff Ives finishing out the race in the 906 Dirt 9092 machine. Aaron Bean and Grills, 3 laps down in the 74 truck. Last Minute Motorsports and Ed Smith in that 21 entry. And Snoop, there it is, was Guile Brooks, second overall placing there in the I apologize. I'm looking at this. It might be a little bit different than what I get on SDK, but it shows on this, at least they're the second overall in the VW class. And we got Nick Nowak. We mentioned winners of the Pro 2 Light category. Brian Sawyer in that 535 machine, third overall in the VW class. Pull up the next page of the results. Team Rick there, Ryan Burton there mentioned they were coming up on Nick Nowak and his teammate there towards the end of the race, but Team Rick able to take home second overall in that Pro 2 Light category. David Bodio finished the race in the 556 Cam and Paul P2 VW machine. And then Trevor Teal with Chris and his other teammates, I believe it was Trevor, Chris, we interviewed, Chris Leone and then Ian Fisher in that 112 machine. They actually got second overall in that Subaru class. Then Josh Cox, the 00 was, I don't think it was actually Dildo Hut Racing, it was the Don's Dildo Depot machine. And then Lance Elkins finished the race in the Flip Patrol Enterprises VW machine. Queen's design for Ruby Acosta, 7 laps down in the Pro 2 Light. Lots of fun names here for sure. Iron Rock Motorsports, Cade McKee finished out this third overall in the Subaru category in that 126 machine. Team Aston Farton and Zach Mitchell, fourth overall in the Pro 2 Light category. Amy Pulsatrix, 259 machine in that Pro 2, fifth overall in the Pro 2 Light category. Mach 1 Proviators and Ryan Steinhoff finishing the race in the 574. I think we've got at least one more page to go here. We'll pull that up and get some names shown here. And we got at least one more page here, trying to get it to pull up. But yeah, definitely a lot of fun that we had watching this race tonight, Chris. And yeah, I mean, I guess what were your biggest surprises from the night that you saw?
Honestly, just the actual transition of how these cars and trucks were getting around the track. Obviously, we saw the trucks, get a big gap early on, and the winners here, they weren't really having any issue getting around people. But as soon as we saw the Beatles kind of come in together, these guys, they were just getting really, really fast. They were passing the trucks. the Subarus are passing the trucks. Everyone was kind of just getting by the trucks, and the trucks were just having to struggle for a while. And then right around the middle of the races, when we kind of seen like all hell break loose, and it's just people were just kind of going off of the turn one berm, and people were just flying across the track. And by the time that they landed, they were almost at the other end of the track. So that really kind of messed up the race for a lot of people. But that was really the most exciting part for me. Is just watching these guys just struggle, after the transition of the track.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as far as the race goes, I think, from a broadcaster's perspective, like chaos is what you want to see, right? For us, like that's the best part of it, and the most fun you get to have. So definitely a lot of crazy flips and wrecks, and even some backwards traffic that you mentioned there. So a lot of fun to see that. But we got our last page of results pulled up here, so we'll go through that real quick. Brantley Bryant finishing out that 138 machine, Housewives of Shenandoah. I believe that's actually fourth overall in the Subaru category. Team Moonshine, Travis Brown in that 37 machine, 38 laps down to finish the race. Tubbing with Riz, Eric Whitner finishing in that 17 machine. Aiden Irvin with TG Racing in that 135. Ryan Feel in the Cobalt Commanders. And Nathan Metokson with, I believe this was the Subies for Boobies machine, but name got cut off, or not sure. But then we got Team Cody Winecki, and Cody finishing 78 laps down in that VW category. So yeah, definitely going to be exciting. I think the next race will be on sometime in August. I don't remember the exact date. I think they said it was the last Thursday in August, if I'm not mistaken there, Chris.
Yeah, I think that's what he said. And if not, there's plenty of social media channels to go through, and you guys can look up, and we'll get an exact date there. But this is obviously been a fun race. We got to talk to a lot of people that were pretty heavily into their passions and stuff like that. So real nice to chat with those people, and you guys got to hear some insights. I got to learn a lot of interesting stuff that I did not know otherwise.
Yeah, definitely a really cool. Obviously, definitely a huge thank you, to Josh and Chris Leone who put this event on. Obviously, Chris, a big influence at iRacing in the dirt road racing world. So really cool to get their perspectives and get a chance to talk to those guys. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to see some different guys. I mean, obviously. Josh Edmondson and Blake Reynolds taking the overall win. Obviously Josh, no stranger to this style of racing, but Blake definitely more well versed on the paved oval side of things. So like you mentioned, really cool to see those different high level iRacing drivers get a chance to showcase what they could do in a lot of fun event here. But yeah. I think for the most part, that'll pretty much do it for us tonight. Definitely appreciate getting the chance to be out here and broadcasting this with Racecraft TV. Yes to Motorsport definitely put on a great show tonight, and can't wait to see what'll happen in the next one. For now, my name is Boomer Logan, and Chris Matthews has been calling the action with me tonight. Anything you want to add before we sign off here, Chris?
Definitely want to thank the fans and the viewers here that watch. This is a special event, and obviously you guys got to see something a little bit different than what you normally see week in and week out from the normal oval or dirt side of things that you guys want to watch. So definitely want to thank you guys for watching. It's very grateful to be here and broadcast with you, Boomer, and honestly, this is something that I think week in, week out, just broadcasting with you guys and being able to put on a show like this is it does the heart good, and I think it just gets people interested, and this is sometimes this is a way for people to kind of settle down and relax from the daily stresses of life.
Yeah, I know that was something that was big for Chris too. That he mentioned just a chance to come out and have a lot of fun and just enjoy it and not be so worried about the competition side of iRacing and just have a good time. So yeah, we'll sign off with that. Thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate Shenandoah Shine for sponsoring the Great Lakes 100 here again from Yes to Motorsports and Racecraft TV. look to see you all at the next one, and appreciate everyone tuning in, chiming in, or rewatching on the broadcast at a later date. Appreciate all you guys, all you do to support this league and this our broadcast group here. So, thank you all. Take care, and we'll catch you next time.